going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Going Deeper edition. I am your host, Nick, joined by the household. Allie was just here, but she jumped off because she wants to go crush it on the Joey sizzle you all probably all watched. I'll shout out to Allison and Leia for the first Joey and Kelsey promo.
It was cinematic gold.
It was
dramatics.
Oscar-worthy, as some people said in the comments. Anyways, big episode today. We got Joey and Kelsey, the happy couple from Bachelor Nation, with us today to dive deep into their love, their relationship. What has life been like since filming, all that weird period where they have to hide their relationship and watch each other and then watch Joey, like, you know, make out with other girls, and it's just fucking weird and hard. And where are they now? Where are they going? Will they make it? So many questions waiting to be answered. It's a great episode, and we really enjoyed talking with them. They weren't able to stick around for texting office hours, sadly. It was a busy day for them, obviously, in high demand. But we give some commentary on whether we think they're going to work out afterwards. We talk about them, after they leave, which is not very nice to do. But, we have a job. So.
And you guys did give great advice to the texting office hour.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great call.
Aww,
yeah.
Do you mean that?
Yeah.
I do. I mean that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, the new Jenn's Men have been released. Should we do a quick preview?
Let's do it.
Jenn's Men / were they actually meant for Maria?
I feel like the way that the season was edited, where we saw so much of Maria and so much of Daisy, it leads me to believe that they had Maria in mind, and then something must have happened.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they ended up. I'm very happy that they went with Jenn.
The rumors online are that her father told her to turn it down,
Oh,
is what I've seen all over.
That's just an online
TikTok.
rumor, though.
Apparently, someone close to Maria is
Wait, why would he tell her to turn it down, though?
because they didn't offer to pay her enough money. There's a lot of contracts to be signed. There's a lot of stuff. And
Well,
As a father, he doesn't want to watch his daughter make out with 35 men.
I mean, she already signed one of the shitty contracts that they have, and it's not much different, except this time she would have gotten paid. There is that. Usually this is all speculation on my part. I don't know anything specific, but usually, and you're right. I mean, it is obvious, without question, that they never planned or intended to have Jenn be the Bachelorette at any point in the season leading up until maybe a couple weeks ago, because they never really featured her or highlighted her. She got a hot seat at the tell-all.
which I think was a last minute save on their part. And I think it's disappointing because I do think that it's about time we have Asian representation and that Jenn is the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
I think it's a great choice, but I
100%.
do think it was a last minute decision.
It was never their intention.
Yeah.
Clearly, it was always going to be. I agree with you, Daisy or Maria, and like I said, I had heard from people close to the situation that it was in fact Maria, and that they maybe even started because they're gonna like when the men are out. For all I like, when my first season on Andy's season, I was in the hotel prepping for filming, rather. It wasn't night one yet. When I watched Juan Pablo's AFR in the hotel room getting ready to film. Like, Andy went from AFR to like being the Bachelorette in one day. So there's a quick turnaround between the Bachelor AFR and the filming of the Bachelorette. Usually, I don't know what the schedule is this time around, but usually in these cases, what usually happens when they start like maybe production or maybe there's some fittings or photo shoots, who knows, and then all of a sudden there seems to be a switch. It usually means that person negotiated themselves out of the job. There's a lot of fanfare. There's a lot of, Maria's very popular. There's a lot of people clamoring for her.
yeah, she could have been like, America fucking loves me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm your only choice as a Bachelorette because you'll piss America off. So pay me XXXXX. And they were like,
They're
no.
like, bet.
Now, I have no idea if that happened with Maria, but I do know that's happened with a handful of other very popular people
Oh.
on their respective seasons of, as contestants. When someone was like the it person, the obvious choice, like they had negotiated themselves out by being like, I get this. And like The Bachelor, even sometimes to their detriment, the franchise, they will not negotiate. They're like, fuck you, we can go with anyone. We can make anyone famous. I don't know if they actually can. And I think sometimes they've made the mistake by not casting the wrong person, but on the other times they've made it work. But they will not negotiate. They will not set a new precedent. So again, don't know if this is what happened, but it screams that's what happened.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just my algorithm, but I've been seeing a lot more of Jenn on my TikTok
I mean, as you should. I mean, she's a new Bachelorette. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Kris Jenner works hard, but Rob Mills works hard.
They did say Viall Files was the new Kris Jenner, though. That was one of the comments on our sizzle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which one of us is Kris?
I mean, it's kind of Allie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it not?
Okay.
Allie.
The momager?
All right.
I guess, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I can
We'll
be
give
Kris
it to
Jenner.
Allie.
Yeah.
She does kind of have run a little tight. So tight.
Are you guys afraid of Allie?
No.
Okay.
No.
Would you say fuck that bitch?
Love that bitch.
You know what I'm fed up with?
Oh, me? Oh, shit, you looked right at me.
Well, does have to do with you
Oh.
for sure.
Shoot. Okay.
Yeah. And I have 2 points to this.
Oh.
Yeah. The first one being, I am so fed up with people, including you,
Oh my God.
saying that my beautiful angel princess of a 7-week-old daughter looks like Nick's father, a 70-year-old man with a beard.
Mm.
In what fucking world?
Well,
Where?
and this
How?
one, you know?
How?
DNA?
Where?
I don't know.
No. You know what? I think we should, as a whole, we should stop telling the mother, especially when it's a daughter. When it's a boy, like, go off. But like that it looks like the dad. Like, love you, and I love that
Mhm.
she looks like you, but like she doesn't look like you. She looks like maybe like your baby pictures, but you right now, like, she doesn't. You have a beard. You're 6'2". Like, you're a manly man, and she's a cute little cherub.
I'll stop.
You have nothing to say.
I said it once.
And then she literally like protested after that. She was so moody after you said that.
It is true.
It
Yeah.
was
She was
like she was
offended.
pissed. Yeah.
She's a girl's girl for sure. Yeah.
In your defense, isn't it a thing where it skips a generation? So like the child looks like the grandparents?
Wait, what?
Huh?
Okay, I've never
What
heard
is
that.
Did I
that?
make that up? I'm
I
pretty sure
heard
that's a thing.
Something about baldness.
Well,
That
That
goes by the
comes-
mother's brother.
The mother's father.
Mother's
The
father.
mother's
And
father.
her dad has a great head of hair. So if we have a son, super excited for them.
I've
Or
heard
him.
that like the baby in the beginning stages looks like the father, and then as she starts developing, she starts looking more like the mother.
Well, according to JWoww,
okay,
who's
Credible source.
basically, yeah, a doctor.
you know,
As far as we're concerned.
PhD.
Yeah. She was like, her daughter came out looking like her dad.
Okay.
And now, yeah, I mean, we've seen a picture. It is a mini JWoww.
and to be
Yeah.
fair, you do look like an identical copy of your father. So I'm also kind of
Oh.
like,
Do I?
I think you look a lot
yeah.
like your dad.
You definitely are
Like
your
there's
dad's
no
son.
confusing in a room of 10 people that who's someone's father.
Okay.
But like my little 7-week-old daughter,
She looks like her papa right now. She's gonna look like you a little more. She's beautiful. First of all,
beautiful.
beautiful.
She is stunning.
I mean,
Which is
it's
weird to
like-
think because I would never have said, if you would have told me when she was in the belly that she was going to look a lot like me, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Ugh, we're gonna
But
have
it's
an
just
ugly
like
baby.
9 months of me giving her my absolute fucking everything. And she,
And this is how she repays
And
you.
Maybe
this
she has your
is-
chin. She has your chin.
oh, thank God.
She has your jawline.
Thank God
for
she
her,
has my
yes.
chin.
Your jawline.
My crimson chin that I got bullied for years.
What?
She's got it.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. She's got your jawline.
Oh,
It's always the
God.
first
You do
compliment
have an
people give.
amazing nose, and
Yeah.
I think she has my nose, which is like, my nose is a 6.
After
You
your
guys
nose job.
both have good noses.
What?
Truly.
Why-
septum.
You cannot put that shit out there because people are going to believe you,
Sorry, your deviated septum surgery.
which I had in high school.
Yes.
Because I
yes.
actually had
A
asthmatic
deviated-
problems.
Heard that excuse before.
Asthmatic. Didn't Jack say the same thing? Jack
So
Taylor.
Jack's is a
times.
liar, and I
Jack said the same thing 4 times.
He's like, I don't know, still deviated.
Still can't breathe for
Still
some
can't
reason.
breathe.
Can you
Yeah.
please, before Us Weekly, make some sort
Us
of
Weekly, don't fucking do it. Because listen to this whole thing. Put this whole bit into your headline. And then
What
we'll
is
be done. That
You still didn't say it.
Nick did not have a nose job. He had a deviated septum surgery. Okay? In high school. Okay? Okay.
And 2 adenoids taken out.
And 2 adenoids. Don't forget his adenoids. Put that in there.
I don't even know what an adenoid is.
And
was
our
gonna say, yeah.
daughter has that nose, not the original nose. Oh, and she has my chin. That's it. She's got my chin. She's got Papa's face, whole face, I guess.
All right, well, let's see which of Jen's guys have a deviated septum.
You think any of them put that in their bio?
I don't think these are bios. These are just pictures.
I think they're kind of mediocre guys, to be honest.
These pictures never do
No.
them justice.
I feel like these are. Have they ever done photos like this?
I think these are photos that
They
well,
submitted.
recently these are photos these guys have taken.
Yeah.
Right. These aren't
Which
like the
I'm even like I
professional-
wouldn't even want to show you the photos I submitted to these guys.
Did you
This
go
is
to a
a Bachelor.
professional place?
I had my buddy Marcos taken.
Backdrop?
This is like back in 2013 when like it was like a flip phone.
What was your backdrop?
It was like Marcos's bathroom, and it was
Oh my
really,
God.
I'm wearing scarves inside. It was terrible. It was so
You're wearing a
embarrassing.
scarf?
inside.
Yeah, it was really brutal.
Was it a-
I'm,
Find
I'm
it?
looking up and away. You
Yeah,
know,
I want to
like,
see
Find
this
it.
picture.
I don't.
Was
I
it a
don't-
thin
Gotta be
scarf?
You must
It's-
have it.
It's somewhere on the internet.
Was it a thin scarf?
I don't think so. In my defense, it was cold.
in the bathroom.
This will be so hard
Inside?
to find.
I was gonna say, is it public?
It's definitely on the internet.
We'll find it.
Well,
somewhere.
you have to type in Nick Viall wearing a scarf in a bathroom.
Nick Viall in a bathroom wearing scarf with his deviated septum surgery.
Well, Nancy
We
drew
do
it.
need to find it
Nancy Drew.
at some
All right,
point.
it's really bad.
think
it's
go
really
back up.
embarrassing.
Go back up. Austin, he's gonna be front runner for sure.
Austin?
He has a
This guy.
mullet.
He's cute.
Austin from San Diego.
So he is
oh,
friends.
he's a San Diego
yeah.
fuckboy. Uh oh, he's friends with
Mhm.
Aaron. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Brandon.
I like the contrast of like real estate photo versus first date school photo.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can
Yeah.
kind of tell each of these guys where they're like, okay, I guess we'll step outside and take the photo. And then some guys are like,
Well, Brendan's
Right.
looks professional.
Some of them tried to look like pensive. Some of
That
them
was
were
your
like,
favorite.
I'm gonna be mysterious.
Austin's is like a Tinder profile
In
for
fairness
sure.
to Austin, he went out on his porch and had a girlfriend.
No,
Some-
it looks like
he woke up.
No.
He woke up after a night out, took a girl home, and this before she left, she took this picture. Whoever
Natalie
she
and I are
is.
like,
Wow.
This
no
is,
woman.
This is a selfie stick.
No, not a selfie stick. He's got the Octo Buddy on his phone case and he stuck it to a window. And he stuck it maybe a little bit too high. And so he's having to raise his chin a little bit.
He looks good though.
He's got an Octo Buddy. No, he does look good. Okay, Brendan. Brett, love him. He's gonna be a fan favorite for
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
He looks
For sure.
funny.
You just want you just want to give him a hug.
I
Yeah.
also don't. What is that pose though? What is he doing?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I said
Look at that
lumberjack.
face.
He's doing something with his hands.
He's
but
giving
I'm,
mid scratch.
I'm a
He
fan.
kind of
Yeah.
he kind of looks like River. I'm just kidding.
All right, I'm out of here. Yeah, this is Brian.
I hate
Brian, like,
that.
why is he looking like that? He
Hate.
look like,
Honestly, that was basically the same kind of photo. I
Leia said he's the
Really?
villain of
well,
the
think
season.
he's
like
gonna
not
be the
different
villain.
background.
I see that.
He has a lot of feelings.
I feel like that photo screams to me villain of the season.
Oh, I was the villain.
Corbin is going home night one.
Wait,
Yeah.
Corbin? Wait, doesn't Corbin look like a young version of the actor who I think you had a crush on and said hi at the Oscar party from Sweet Home Alabama?
Josh Lucas.
I don't know what his name is. Look it up.
Josh Lucas.
Are you talking about the lead?
Yes, the same fucking guy.
Mm-mm. Don't do my man Josh
what
like
do you-
that.
That was very nice
Actually
for
not bad.
Corbin. Yeah.
It's kind of similar.
Pretty good.
What do you
Okay,
mean?
maybe a similar face.
Maybe.
Maybe. Does
That
does
looks
Josh
like-
Lucas have kids? Is this
That
a
looks
son?
like Josh Lucas's kid.
One child.
Ooh,
Devin.
maybe this
Is
No.
that Devin? No.
Nope.
Nope.
Corbin.
Alias.
Damn.
That looks.
Mysterious
I
child.
think he's going home night one.
Corbin looks
unfortunately.
like he's from out Los Angeles, so maybe
Corbin's giving 2012 Abercrombie model.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
he lives in
I
Venice.
can
It
see
looks
that.
like. No short. Well, look at those shorts.
I think he's also going to be a fan favorite.
Dakota.
Dakota.
You do?
I don't know.
I think he might
This
go
guy
home
was
night
casted
one.
for Maria. Absolutely.
His
I
shirt's
think he
about
looks
to pop.
fun.
Mm-mm. That's the type of shirts Nick used to wear.
Yeah.
And I had to
Too tight?
rip him out of it.
Oh,
Hey, Natalie,
I
have you
nothing to say.
seen? You're like just throwing out his shirts without telling him. And he's like, Natalie, have you seen? You're like,
Oh.
nope. I wonder what happened.
This
This guy
guy's
looks
like-
like a young from the show Entourage, so like a young.
oh yeah,
Adrian,
Vinny Chase.
Vinny Chase.
He looks like he's like mid walking or bending down or something though.
Dylan.
Mm-mm.
This guy's
He's-
from NorCal, Sacramento adjacent.
Okay.
Elk Grove.
He chose a nice
He looks like
background.
he has Riz.
Yeah.
He's gonna pop in the. He's like doing a little pose.
Mm-hmm. With his jacket.
No.
Grant.
Okay, he's rich. Sorry. In front of his pool with his fountain. Like,
That's a
okay.
community
palm
pool.
trees.
That's
I
his
was-
apartment pool. 100%.
It's a nice apartment
Mm.
pool.
It's an apartment pool.
It has rocks and a waterfall.
He's very handsome.
Mm.
No.
Keem.
It gives me nothing.
Yeah, they're all kind of like fine.
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Like they're totally fine.
You can always tell when someone doesn't know what to do with their hands in a photo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
13.
He's top 4 for sure.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
That's a
Ja-
top 4 smile right there.
Jahan.
Great hair.
New
Tall,
York.
dark, and handsome.
There you go.
Although people from New York notoriously do terrible on
the show.
Terrible. Like
He's cute.
Bachelor, like the Bachelor vibe, the atmosphere, the culture. I don't know what it is, generally speaking, but it is not conducive to like a New York state of mind. Like this
New York.
You need to-
Community living.
Yeah, more like progressive type of like cultural viewpoints. You have to come in humble, grateful, and just like everything happens for a reason. And that is
Jeremy's
not
cute.
very
That looks
New
Nick.
York.
Is that not the exact photo that you took of me in New York on like our first?
It is. Almost with the exact same fucking jacket.
I know.
Where is that photo?
He saw your picture. He was like,
yours-
yes.
Hopefully yours fit you
Success.
better.
No, I
That-
think it was
that is
also
a-
oversized.
that jacket makes him look like 5'2".
It does
130
make him
pounds.
look really
It does.
small. Yeah, but I think
Uh,
I think he goes far too.
why
He
do
looks
you think-
taller
He
than
has
the
a
Jeep.
kind
So.
face.
He
Yeah,
does.
He looks nice. Kind of bored to be there.
No, it's a photo shoot in the streets of New York. He's making the same face I'm making in the photo you took of me.
Well,
Wait.
we were doing a photo shoot. I guess he was too.
Hello.
Wait, Nick, read his name.
Jeremy.
Okay. Call back.
Jeremy.
German.
Jeremy.
John's cute.
Oh, I like him.
He looks sweet.
Wait, John is cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan H. He has
Alright.
potential, maybe. Jonathan J.
This is a Maria guy for sure.
Why? What makes you say that?
He looks like he rides a motorcycle.
Okay.
Does
All I
he?
gotta
Jonathan
say.
J.
That's what you get?
Tattoo on the arm.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, let's not forget that Jenn is shot o'clock.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, and she's
So-
looking for a big personality.
Did she say that?
Yeah,
She
what was-
did, but she delivered it kind of.
Was she trying to say something
take
else?
A little more of a space.
She was obviously trying to make the joke of she wants a big
Got it.
penis.
A big cock.
I have a question. Are
But-
you allowed to have tattoos on The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Allowed for sure, but
feel
I
like
don't.
Remember John
never see
Henry?
them.
I don't.
Remember
I
John
would not have
Henry?
been. I would not have
But
been
that was
casted as the
Paradise.
Bachelor if I had
He was on
tattoos
The
like
Bachelor.
this. I can assure you that.
I feel like I never see people with tattoos.
He was on The Bachelorette first.
Baby, we
before he
took
went to
some
Paradise.
sizzling photos back in the day.
I know.
Damn.
Remember that time I was looking for something and I was like, there's so many nudes in here.
Oh.
Kevin is cute. Wait, he's kind of old.
Is he?
He's older. There's a lot of them are like 24. He's 35.
Oh.
There it
Yeah, he's
is.
older.
Literally the same jacket.
Wait, let me see.
I think
let's
there's a
see.
different photo, but yeah, it's typically the same. Do you even know what I'm talking about? Because I don't think you do.
It's just. I'm
It's
gonna-
on my Instagram.
Okay, fine. Sorry. Ooh, Marcus, he's hot.
Yeah, Marcus definitely goes far. Marvin is giving school photo.
Yep.
It's like, get out there, get out in the front yard, I'm taking your picture.
Well,
First
this
day
is,
of fifth
Smile.
grade.
this is very much a Santa Monica Pier, like,
Yeah. yeah.
Photo.
Venice Beach.
Oh, Sam's hot.
Yeah.
he's cute.
Calm down.
I kind of no, I'm definitely not a fan of the high neck V neck
photo.
white T-shirt. I will say, Sam is also cute.
we don't know how tall any of these guys are, and when they walk and when they show up, and they're all 6'2" and 6'3".
I love that we have a Thomas and a Tomas.
This is our last one, so there's 28 this
Okay,
season.
great.
They still have room to play with, though. That was just 28. Joey had 32.
Prediction: you're absolutely right. There will be someone on this season, at least one guy on this season that you don't see in this group, and you won't see one of these guys night one.
They've got 5 slots. We'll see what happens.
She has good potential, though,
Yeah.
as a Bachelorette.
Yeah, it also says potential on this list. So,
Yeah, they literally release these photos so the internet can do their thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Literally,
like,
that's
he's
why they
off.
do it. They're
What?
hoping that if anyone's going to come forward, they come forward now and say so and so sucks.
Yeah, I always feel like they should do the casting after they cast the lead because then it just makes it more like, I'm here for you.
But they don't really. Especially when it comes to the Bachelorette, they just don't have the time.
Yeah. But it
No,
just
they start
makes it less
casting in
like-
December before the season even airs.
Yeah. It just makes it feel more like, oh, I'm here for the.
Well, they've never been
rather
ever
than-
casting for the lead ever. They're casting for a TV show. And then if they are able to figure out who the lead is with a little bit of lead time, then they try to, they'll certainly ask every time they're casting, who from this season would you like to see? Like they try, but again, it's not that they don't care. It's just that there are other things that are a bigger priority, just like
Mhm.
making a TV show and not knowing who their lead is going to be.
I also feel like the contestants typically get on there and be like, when I found out it was you, I'm so excited. So I'm like, they blindly go
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Bethenny Frankel says she was punched on what?
There's so many women saying this. I saw literally 5 TikToks in a row that was like, I'm just walking in New York City on broad daylight. I'm looking down at my phone and I get punched in the face.
Is she okay?
I don't know, but these other women have like big, like goose eggs on their head. They're like bruises. Like people
Aren't there cameras
men,
everywhere in New York?
Men are knocking women out
And it's a
on
game.
the streets. Yeah.
They're calling it a knockout game or something. That's what I was
Yeah,
just
they're calling it
enlightened to
knockout.
Are you
today.
fucking kidding me?
I'm
What
dead
the
serious.
fuck is going on?
It's terrifying being a woman. Terrifying.
It's like not a trend, but it is a trend.
Yeah.
I don't
It's disgusting.
really understand it.
I hope Bethenny's okay. I hope they're all okay.
Don't punch people.
I feel like it should just go without saying. And we're talking adults, right? Like we're talking like women in their 20s and 30s, not like, or in 40s. Like we're not talking just
Well,
like,
I
high
remember-
school.
I saw a video a while like of an elderly woman getting knocked out by a guy, but I didn't realize this was some sort of fucking thing.
I don't know.
It's fucking
For
gross.
funsies, it's gross.
It's crazy in New York.
Is Christine Quinn's husband okay?
I don't think so. Tobias
He is-
Fuke?
He is yeah. He has since filed a restraining order against her because he thinks she's going to abduct their son.
Oh God! What? Oh,
Am I confused? Didn't he throw like a glass bottle and hit the kid? So I'm like,
at her,
At her and a
At
missed
her.
her, got the kid.
so that's why I'm like, why is he now all of a sudden concerned about the kid's well-being when you were the person that put your child in danger to
danger,
begin
yeah.
with?
Baby, let's never do this. Let's never become this couple.
I mean, I would hope the fuck not.
Don't punch anyone. Don't throw things,
Yeah.
especially when a child is
act
How,
present.
normal.
how sad, like to be anyone and have kids and act this way towards each other, but to be
Right.
public figures and to publicly embarrass yourselves and have a fight online and in the press. And granted, their kid is, I don't know how old now,
3.
but that shit's in ink.
You
It
know,
ain't going anywhere. That is there forever. Hey, remember that time your dad threw something at your fucking face?
And then he walked out of his house in handcuffs and bathrobe and no shoes.
And then came back and then rearrested and then filed a restraining order against your mom?
he posted 2 $30,000 bonds for violating a restraining order. Like he's gotten out of jail in 48 hours. He posted 2 $30,000 bonds
For bail, yeah.
For bail. That's absurd.
It's giving Amber Heard.
Ugh, God.
Oh my
It's
god.
Is it not? It's like similar.
Kind of is giving Amber. Could you imagine if this is like the next like
Who is
the
he? Is he a
next trial,
somebody? Is
the
he
next-
some rich fucking tech?
Tech guy.
Yeah.
No, he's an
Silicon
actor,
Va-
right?
No, he's a Silicon Valley. Like,
You know what? Now I think I remember. He's a fucking nerd
yeah, he's
who got money.
not cute at all. Yeah.
And now, listen, high school is definitely not the end all be all. And it's mostly useless, and no one wants to peak in high school. But definitely be aware of the person who was not cool in high school and then got famous or rich somewhere later in life. And especially if they're a guy.
Yeah.
They can turn into monsters.
Absolutely.
But sometimes they're better, right? Because they were humbled in high school, so they came out of it a sweetheart.
Or
It really
they're- or
depends.
they're
How
angry.
fast did they get rich or famous?
And how did they do it?
And how did they do it?
Yeah.
And how much anger do they have from their high school days?
Have they been in therapy?
Yeah, have they been in therapy? Because there's a lot of pent up fucking retaliation and not knowing how to be fucking normal or cool.
Those Silicon Valley expose books and whatnot, and they'll be like, yeah, these nerds will just get together with their millions of dollars and have sex parties and very salacious weird things that they couldn't do in high school, but it's just the disrespect and I don't know, it's just gross. So I'm just saying when they have
To be clear, I didn't have sex parties in high school either.
Yeah,
no.
Nick was literally the most. We were talking about this last night with JoJo. She came over, and we were talking about how I am terrified for the.
Natalie's a former criminal.
Okay, I wouldn't say criminal. I have no record.
I'm like, please do tell.
Yeah, right.
She was a 14-year-old
Us
criminal.
Weekly, are you
Yeah,
listening?
literally. All right, Nick had a nose job. Take that instead. No, I am scared for River's preteen years because I was so bad that I'm and JoJo was saying, you know what they say, your kid is 10 times
Tenfold.
10 times worse than you were or something, or
Oh.
No disrespect to your dad though, but River will have a father.
yeah, for sure. But I don't know if it was that or if it was
Just who
Just-
you are as a
just-
person, your DNA,
no, you know what it was, and I told you
your
this
soul.
last night. I was friends with the wrong fucking people, and my mom told me over and over and over again, these girls are bad news. They're not your friends. You need to stop hanging out with them. And I was like, Mom, don't tell me what to do. And I would still hang out with them, and they were little shoplifters. And so I became a little shoplifter.
Ooh.
But also, and I was telling JoJo last night, they were like, we were poor. Okay. We had no fucking money. And they were like, oh, we go to Dillard's and get Miss Me jeans. And I was like, fucking Miss Me jeans. I don't know if y'all know what that is or if it was just a South
Natalie.
thing.
Oh, this is
I
you.
don't know.
I
what
know
This
what
is
it is.
me. Miss Me jeans were like over $100 pair of jeans that like had bedazzled back butt pockets. And they were
Oh,
so
I've seen
fucking
'em.
cool. And everyone had them but me. Of course, my mom's not buying me $100 jeans. And so she was like, let's steal these jeans. And also
You're like 14, right?
yeah, I'm like 14. And I like, she's like, we
I
can
didn't
go to,
marry a criminal.
she's like, we can go to Victoria's Secret and like steal underwear. I'm like, I've literally never, like a Victoria's Secret thong. Like, oh my God, what even is that? I've never even like thought I could have that. And so, yeah, like I was friends with the wrong people who manipulated me into doing terrible things. But I have grown since.
But when you get caught, you got to do the voice.
Oh, so you got caught.
Oh, yeah.
yes, I
Who
did
caught
get
you?
caught.
The store or your mom?
Oh, babe. Quite literally fucking everyone. So it's me and two other girls, and we're in Dillard's. So I'm not allowed in fucking Dillard's in Auburn, Alabama anymore. There's like a picture of me somewhere. I'm
And
sure.
what is Dillard's? Is that
Oh,
Nordstrom?
it's a department store.
So it's like
a
Nordstrom.
lower Nordstrom. Yeah,
Macy's.
it's like a Belk's, Macy's,
Okay.
JCPenney's, Dillard's.
And it's
yeah,
like only it's not in LA, I don't think.
I don't think it is
I don't think
either.
I don't think it's in California.
No one in
Probably
LA would
not.
shop at a place called Dillard's.
Okay. Well, anyways, they had fucking Miss Me jeans, and that's what everyone wanted. And we're in Dillard's, and we go into like, of course, they put us all in the same dressing room, which is like a trick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't think I want anything. Like, I think I'm good. And one of the girls is like, just put this in your bag for me because it won't fit in mine. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I put her Miss Me jeans in my bag, and we all go to walk out, and everyone's staring at us. And as soon as we exit the doors, we hear, excuse me, can y'all come back in for a second? One girl throws her bag in the bushes. The next girl throws her bag in an aisle. We get to like the back room. There's 4 cops in there. And I immediately start sobbing. They're like, we're going to go get the bags that you ladies threw. Like, empty out your bag. I pull out the Miss Me jeans, and they put us in handcuffs. I'm like, I'm supposed to be a model. I'm supposed to move to New York. Like, this is not my life. I'm so sorry. Put us in handcuffs, walk, and there's nothing to do in Auburn, Alabama, but go to the fucking mall. Absolutely nothing. So, like, they walk us through this mall in handcuffs to the cop car that's the front of the mall. We're in the back of the mall, and I see, like, the fucking principal. I see classmates. I see, like, my church youth group leader. I see literally everyone. And they get us to the precinct and call out my mom, and she had to come and get me. And I had to do, like, community service. I had to feed, like, the homeless and write a letter and read it to the judge.
It didn't stop our criminal enterprise, though.
I did not stop after that.
That's where
No.
it began.
That's where I was excited
I
with
was-
being put
That's
in
where I got
handcuffs.
the thrill. It's her villain origin story.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I was just like underage drinking at a rodeo and then got arrested for that. And same thing. I remember we were sitting on the curb of the rodeo. Everyone's leaving. Me and Colin Rudd, he was like the heartthrob back then. And we were in the truck together, and there was like 6 of us in the truck. And so the cops pulled us over. There was too many people. And he said, the cop said, I need to see everyone's IDs. I said, oh, I don't have mine. He said, well, what year were you born? And I knew I had something to drink. So I was trying to do the math.
Meanwhile, just so you know, right now, when it comes to feeding River, Natalie's counting with her fingers when it comes to ounces. So
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Thank
Gotta do
you.
what you gotta
my
do.
fingers
Thank
too.
you.
Mm.
Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out like what year I would have been born in if I was 21 and not 15. So I
Wait,
was
so
like,
you're in front of the cop going,
How old are you?
you're like, wait.
yeah. He's like, what's your birthday? And I was like, August 31st. And he's like, what year? And I was like,
1985.
I'm like 1962. He's like, okay. Anyways, and so then we get put on the curb. Everyone's driving past, like, oh my God, I saw Natalie and Colin in handcuffs. And he's like, she has a career. She has a modeling career. Please let her go. Take me.
Oh.
He was a real one for that, but they were like, no,
No,
sorry, we're
yeah.
taking her. Called my sister to pick me up from that one. And then when I lived in New York, again, friends with the wrong people, and they were spray painting a couple buildings in the Bronx. And
Oh,
I
that's art.
joined. It was art, but they ran when the cops came, and I was so scared. I did not run. And so they were like, what are you doing here? And I immediately turned on the Southern accent. I was like, I don't know. I'm just from Alabama, and I'm here with myself. And my mama I'm 15 years old and my mama is not here. And I'm so sorry. I was just trying to make friends. And they're like, okay, it's okay. We'll just call your parents and we'll take you home. And yeah, that's the end of my criminal career.
One less charge.
Yeah.
None of them's on. I don't have a record. Like,
In your defense, I think California kids, some of them are doing a lot more wilder things.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't doing any drugs. Okay. So could have been worse. Could have been worse. But if River's anything like me, we are very much in trouble.
She looks like Nick and acts like Natalie. It's perfect.
Yeah.
What a tough
Combination.
life.
What
Yeah.
a tough life.
Speaking of tough life, Mr. Dr. Andrew, what's his name?
Andrew Huberman.
Who is this?
He's a doctor, right? He's a doctor.
He's a neuroscientist, I believe, and he has a podcast called Huberman Lab.
It's very popular.
Mhm.
It gives a lot of like medical advice, some kind of
Mhm.
non-traditional things. He gives a lot of it's like it seems to be like a mix of like modern medicine, but he also like talks about other holistic approaches, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. But a lot of people find his information very helpful, very useful. And I guess apparently he, is a little loose with his dick. Well, I guess he just gets around. He's a single. He grew a beard and was like, holy shit, holy God, chicks dig me.
You had the same realization now.
Well, I mean, as shocking as it may be to you, I did
I did
okay.
okay.
I did okay. I did okay. Yeah, but he's under some fire. I don't know. Like, do we? The sources call him a womanizer. What is that? Is that like a what is that? What is that like a 1950s
What's the definition
term?
of a womanizer?
Dictionary.com says a womanizer is a philanderer.
So he
Okay, so
gets
now
around.
can you
Sorry,
look up
I was about to
philanderer?
say, yeah.
What?
So he
I
gave
think
he hooked up a lot of women, gave a lot of like, we'll see, not right now. I'm not looking for a relationship, But then he was like, hey babe, let's hang out. They took it the wrong way. And then they all got together. I'm like, wait, are you having sex with Mr. Huberman?
Mr. Huberman.
Doctor? The doc?
I'm just confused why this is news. I'm
That's
just
kind
like
of our point.
every actor, you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know.
Like
Literally.
I mean, he
doesn't give relationship advice, correct?
He does not.
So
He gives health and wellness.
And even if he did.
So what he does in his off time, if he's not married, I don't understand why it's a big deal.
It does suck for the women, though.
I don't believe
Because they're
he's
all getting
married.
played. But
Well, I mean, if he is misleading people, we don't think that's great.
Condone that.
We don't
Condone it.
condone that. But it's like, Jesus, like, I don't think everything needs to be a story.
Same.
Well, Leonardo Dicaprio is no longer dating 25-year-olds.
Or so we
He
think,
he
yeah.
could potentially be engaged.
Potentially.
To whom?
To Vittoria.
She's 25.
She's 25.
Which is kind of iconic that he's been made fun of for so long.
he's keeping the pattern.
keeping the pattern, but he's like, well, at least I'll start getting engaged to 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I'm
How
going to
many-
follow through.
How many more engagements do you think he'll have?
Eva Mendes says she and Ryan Reynolds had a
I'll shut the fuck up.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, please.
No,
Your turn.
I thought you were done.
Your turn.
No, it's your show.
Your turn.
My bad.
Even does. She has not been working.
Nope.
Nope. She is staying home with the children.
Do we have a non-verbal agreement that you'd be a stay-at-home
Well,
mom?
I am here, so obviously not. I have.
I'm like,
clocked
wake
in.
up! It's time to work.
Literally. No, but I think I honestly, it makes me sad that Eva Mendes is no longer acting. Like, I kind of love what
I love Hitch.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds do. What did
Jeez.
you just say?
I said I loved Hitch.
Oh,
Hitch.
what was
She's ready.
Drive? Was
Drive
that
is
what
a
it's
great
called?
movie.
Wait, say it
Where
again.
He's
Drive?
he's kind of a
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
he's kind of a
Yeah.
sociopath, but you love
Yeah.
him at the same time.
that was like he's like covered in tattoos.
He was not covered in
Are you
tattoos.
talking
and I
with
went,
Eva Mendes?
That's
Yes.
That's
that-
the
that-
Almost the Pines
Yeah,
or
that's Almost the
something.
Pines.
The
Thank
place
you.
beyond the pines.
Beyond-
Thank
yes.
you. I was like,
almost
Drive?
the pines.
Yeah,
Almost the
sorry.
pines. almost
He's
almost
driving
trees.
through the
The
pines.
movie Almost Trees.
He's driving through the pines. No, but I think Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have that great agreement where they don't work at the same time. So like one of them is always home with their children. And like, why couldn't they do that? Because I hate that she's like,
Maybe
I
she
mean,
doesn't
unless
want
she,
to.
you're right, totally. But like, you're making us suffer.
Also,
Like, we don't get to see you in any movies.
but Eva Mendes seems very happy at home. She started a sponge line and she just posts the cutest things on her Instagram that I'm like, I feel like she's kind of living the dream.
Wait, what kind of sponges?
Yeah, did you just
It-
say
She's got a sponge line.
like a scrubbing sponge?
Yes, please, Justin.
Pulling it up.
like a makeup sponge?
No, like a cleaning at home sponge.
Like a scrub
she's-
daddy sponge.
She's taking housewife Literally.
Literally.
Oh my
God.
Looking sexy with those sponges.
Should we get some of these sponges?
Wait.
That's what I'm saying.
Kind of.
She's like super hot and being like, by the way, buy my super cute sponges.
Okay, love that for her.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think she's really taking like homemaker to the next level, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. She could always go back to acting too.
Right.
Oh, for sure. Hitch too.
Place
also-
Beyond the Pines too.
And Eva Mendes just like stays hot, by the way. So I'm also,
She doesn't age.
you know what I mean? Like,
Along with
she'll come
Ryan
back and we'll be
Gosling.
like, cool, you're back.
Marcus Jordan, Larsa Pippen. Do we care? They're still
No.
fighting.
I'm over it.
I
Yeah,
can't
no.
anymore. I can't keep up.
Thirsty.
What about Lisa Rinna not returning back to Beverly Hills?
Good.
Any
Fine with
thoughts?
that.
Are we
Bless.
surprised?
I'm glad she's not returning.
Oh,
Same.
you know what we need to get to before we get to Joey and Kelsey? A little preview for R&R. What is going on between Lala and Katie? I don't like what we obviously just had Katie here
Yeah.
on Tuesday's Reality Recap. Go back and listen to it if you haven't yet. But Katie is still kind of like, I just don't understand what's going on between me and Lala. Like, I'm just kind of making choices. It seems to be pissing off Lala. What now? Lala is going after Katie for her commentary on
The after show.
the after show.
About
Joe.
About Joe. What is the quote?
She said that she needs to disengage
Gage.
from
She
the
loves that word.
comments of Joe. She loves the word
Loves the
disengage.
word. She
I'm
loves that
so- I
word
could
with
not
two
be-
fingers.
Yeah, 2 fingers.
Disengage, bitch.
Meanwhile,
It's kind of iconic, actually.
it was.
No,
it
it's
was.
too much. It was,
It
and then she
was.
overdid it.
And now it's fucking. What is it
You
called?
know what-
Chuggy.
You know what also? You know what also was iconic? And I think she should switch it out for disengage. Are you trying to get popped, or are you trying to get along? And Ariana's like,
that's too
well, I
many
don't
words,
want to
though.
get popped.
Yeah, and it was iconic because it was a one and done. It wasn't like, oh shit. This
If someone
is my
said
new
that to me, I'd be like,
tagline.
oh,
Popped.
Put your gun down.
That's what Ariana
Now,
said.
now every
Take it
time
back.
Lala says
Disengage.
disengage, I'm like, all right, Lauren, you know,
Yes.
calm down.
I will say
I
they,
thought she wants to be soft, and you know, how do you? And then she's like criticizing Katie for going too hard to the paint on Joe, which Katie was here and acknowledged that maybe she was a little harsh, but Katie shed some light on it and been like, this chick DM'd me and tried to like get my ex-husband's number only 4 weeks later to be like fucking him. I'm sorry if Katie was a little perturbed and annoyed by that. Katie has been very clear and transparent that her reason for getting a divorce wasn't because she fell out of love with Tom Schwartz. Quite the opposite. Still very much in love, very hard to do, and had to make some very tough choices. Very sad choices, but like the choices she didn't want to make. But, you know, she's not super excited for like, you know, people to like get access to her ex-husband by DMing her. And granted, I'm not condoning any like harsh language online, but like meanwhile Lala's just like, well, Katie has a big following and Joe doesn't, so she needs to back off. I'm like, by that logic, again, back to reunion 10, you had a much bigger platform than Rachel/Raquel, and you fucking eviscerated her and said some horrible things. But now all of a sudden you're giving Katie fucking notes on how to treat the guy who's fucking her ex-husband? Come on. Calm the fuck down, Lala. And Lala, I love you, but like, what the fuck? I mean, I just like, come on.
Also, what about Sheena? Because I feel like Sheena was way harsher on Joe in this past episode
Yes.
than Katie
I
was.
haven't seen
Oh.
it yet.
Well,
but
you'll
I just,
see.
I just saw.
She's
I'm excited for everyone to see this week's episode
Yeah.
because I'm like the whole like going too hard on Sheena, where I was just like, I was very kind of confused and disturbed by watching that whole thing, where I was just like, we won't get into it. We'll talk about it on reality recap. But yeah, so for Sheena to go on the after show saying that Joe needs to be held accountable for her involvement in Scandival, but then also simultaneously saying that she wants to be friends with Sandoval again, make it make sense. How is
Yeah.
Joe more responsible or need to take
what did
accountability?
Joe do for Scandal?
She went on double dates with Schwartz and Raquel and Sandoval. So she was very aware of what was happening.
This is Joe's fault. Joe was supposed to be the person who broke the news. Okay, we
Watch
gotta
the
watch the
episode.
episode.
you got to watch
do.
the episode. There's a lot to discuss about this week's
Why is
episode.
Lala trying so hard to be in a fight with Katie?
Yeah, I was also confused because on her podcast, she also said that the first friend that she called to tell about her pregnancy was Stassi Schroeder. And I was just like, it's weird to me that you've been like kind of positioning yourself where I'm like, you're best friends with Katie last season. Now all of a sudden Stassi's like your number one best friend and you're going to talk shit about Katie, who's been Stassi's best friend forever. I don't know.
I appreciate her trying so hard to make sure that there's a season 12,
Yeah.
but like, make it make sense.
I think
You
it's
know?
messy. It's messy. And the funny thing is that she's the most clear-headed one. And I'm like, nothing that you're saying makes sense. Like there's no follow
Well, she
through.
keeps contradicting herself, and then also she's just doing these like Amazon lives and just like trying to stir the pot, and everyone's just like, I'm so lost. Like what what fight are we in? What are you talking about? Like, this is news to me. I don't understand.
Well, thanks for the fucking content, Lala. We appreciate it.
Oh, I'm
but,
so
like,
excited for
can't
you
wait
to see
Can't
it.
wait to watch. It's the moment you all been waiting for. It's the very sexy couple, Joey and Kelsey. Also, don't forget, we have Daisy next week on Going Deeper. We have an incredible reality recap. Also, tomorrow, it's an update special. So if you love your Ask Nick episodes, by the way, if you're tuning in for the first time to listen to Joey and Kelsey, we're here 3 days a week. We got some great relationship advice every Monday on Ask Nick. If you love hearing other people's relationship problems and stories, and living vicariously through them, it's an episode for you. And we have reality recaps on Tuesday. We got Going Deeper on Thursday. And tomorrow we have our update specials, some updates from our Ask Nick or texting office hours. It's a great episode. And then we'll be back next week with Daisy. I think I said that. I don't know. Anyways, Joey and Kelsey. All right, guys, I have a question for you. Have you spilled your coffee on the counter?
Yes.
Well, of course, we all have. What are you cleaning it up with? I know at first thought you're probably thinking paper towels. We have burned through a lot of paper towels.
Nick used to not use one. He would use 4 for
5,000.
one spill.
I would try to use as many as possible. Now, we're not doing that anymore, not with the help of papaya. That's right. What is papaya? Well, not just a fruit. They are reusable paper towels, and let me tell you, they have changed the game in our literal household, not just the household in the studio, but at home. And now that we have our cute baby, wonderful River, who's, cute and wonderful, but spits up a lot. Papaya has been really helping clean up some of those burping messes and
We
things
also
like
have
that.
2 dogs that
We also have
don't
2 dogs.
care.
It's amazing how much we are saving, both money and on the environment when it comes to the help of papaya. One sheet replaces 17 rolls of paper towels, which solves the cost and space problem. We also don't have a lot of storage at home. Problem solved. We used to have a whole cabinet full of paper towels. Now we just have our papaya towels. So good.
We also used to use rags.
Those stink.
Yeah, they take forever to dry. They end up smelling like mildew, and they just add to our laundry. And we have enough laundry as it is.
So you can hang one in your kitchen for spills. You can wipe down your counters to clean your appliances. You can hang one in your bathroom to wipe up all the water.
Because they have a little hole in the top corner, and they also come with little easy to hang hooks.
Ew.
I also just learned that when your reusable paper towel needs a little bit of a deeper clean, you can put it in the top rack of the dishwasher and just throw it in with that load of dishes.
Boom, comes out fresh and clean and ready to clean your mess. So if you want to stop buying jumbo packs of paper towels like we used to, go to papayareusables.com and use code VIALL for 30% off site-wide. That's PAPAY reusables.com and use code VIALL for 30% off. Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. How many of you are spending money on apps you don't use? Well, probably many of you are thinking, am I wasting money? Yes, you are. Chances are, if you have a smartphone, you are wasting money on things that you are not using. And you probably don't even know what those are or what you're paying. Well, let Rocket Money help solve that problem for you to cancel automatically the apps that you're not using. In addition to that, they can negotiate your bills, like your cell phone bill. Rocket Money will even negotiate and lower your bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They'll deal with customer service for you. That in itself makes Rocket Money worthwhile. They are helping people save, on average, $740 a year. I myself saved over $1,000. They've helped their total customers save over $500 million, $500 million in canceled and unused subscriptions. Need I say more? I hope not. This pays for itself, and then some. I mean, this is like a no-brainer. Anyways, you have got to get Rocket Money because it's like a part-time job. You'll have more money in your bank account by using Rocket Money. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/VIALL. That's rocketmoney.com/VIALL. rocketmoney.com/VIALL. Joey, Kelsey, welcome.
We're happy to be here. How are you guys doing?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're super excited for you guys.
We appreciate it.
How's it been?
It's been good. I think right now we're just at that point that we're so excited that it's finally here. It's like a weight off our shoulders, and I don't know, been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But we're still so go right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to relax after all of this.
For sure.
What's been the most exciting part since you guys have been, put out into the wild and free to not hide your relationship anymore?
All of the 10 hours we've had. What's your favorite part?
Riding in a car together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We both said it's been a lot of the simple things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
because you miss out on that, and
Yeah.
we've had to keep it secret for so long, and the virtual stuff gets old so quickly. So I think it's just nice to be next to each other.
You haven't been able to ride in a car together?
No.
Our first dinner is today. Like our
Yeah.
first dinner
Like,
where
go
there's no
out?
In
cameras,
public.
where we just
Yeah.
get to go and eat dinner.
Are you
I'm so
going out or are
excited.
you cooking?
No, we're going
Yeah.
to a restaurant.
can't
This is our
cook.
first time. Because like we've made meals together in our happy couples, but this is our first time sitting down at a restaurant and just being able to enjoy that
Yeah.
together.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wait, you can't cook, Joey?
I mean, I can try. I've got some dishes, but
He
it's-
can cook. He
it's
says he
okay.
can't cook, but like he knows how to make things.
Sorry, it's
he can
date
take
night,
care of
and
himself.
you have to cook, and the whole purpose is to
Wow her.
wow your new fiance, Kelsey. What are you making?
I know how to make gnocchi from scratch. So that's my
Okay.
my
Yeah.
one that I learned. It's surprisingly really easy. I do like a sweet potato gnocchi, and I do like a nice like white cream sauce with it.
Nice.
And so we already did that one at one of the happy couples. She seemed to like it. So
Something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
great.
yeah.
Did you ask for him to make it again?
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
So
Okay.
maybe she didn't like it.
I also just like am more sensitive to gluten, so
Yeah,
it's harder. for me, but-
They have a gluten-free option.
Yeah.
We can fix that.
You'll
Okay.
circle back with that.
Yeah.
Totally.
I just want to say, honestly, again, congratulations. It was really, honestly, enjoyable to watch you guys fall in love throughout this season.
We appreciate it.
Episode 1, I was
I
was
heard- I
on
heard that.
shit. Yeah,
I know. I was like, props
everyone's
to
like,
her.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. There's something about Kelsey. You can kind of tell.
She's hard to miss, man.
It just, I've been in your shoes before. I know what it's like, the nervousness about being the lead, and certainly there's a role you have to play being the lead.
Yeah.
It's not just your love story. It's yours and all the other women who get to come on, and you have to be empathetic and recognize that you did a good job of that. I
Thank
think a lot of people were very pleased with your emotional intelligence
Yeah.
this season. But it really showed. It showed that when you looked at Kelsey, you were far more attentive to anything she said
Yeah.
and everything she did.
I think they've heard that she could do no wrong in my eyes, it's really been that way. She's just been amazing through all of this. She was my rock. Like every single date that we had, it was so easy to just like sink into it and have it continue to grow. We were waiting for something to go wrong, and it never did. So I felt really lucky.
I know it's always like the trope of like, I didn't know until the very end,
Yeah.
but I know that's bullshit. So was it night 1 when you knew? Was it your first date? I mean, because I say that because honestly, I think it's different for every
Yeah.
lead. I do think they know early on, but it was pretty clear to me that you paid attention to Kelsey very quickly. And there's always a moment where I think every bachelor, specifically the bachelors, realize who it's going to be. And in that moment, they feel like they're on the Bachelorette again because they're just like, oh, fuck, what if she leaves?
Yeah.
And I want to know when that moment was for you.
It was, it was kind of a start. I'll give a little bit of a long-winded answer because I think it's important to like understand where it grew from, because it really did start on the paint battle date. Because the night 1 was great, but like we did have a little bit of like a nervous energy we were going through. But that paint battle date was the first time we got to connect, and I was like, okay, like this is starting, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But the Rhonda date was where it just like solidified everything I needed to know. And it was kind of like you said, that moment where I said, this could definitely be it, but there's so much you have to go through. And that's the process of this. Like we didn't do hometowns. Like I didn't know if her family was going to like me, how that dynamic was. The uninterrupted time you get at overnights. It's so important to see how everything is off camera, to see if the chemistry, the dynamic of us continues to grow. And like that was hands down our best night we had, because I mean, we stayed up to like 4 or 5 a.m. talking, and just, it was natural. It was easy. And then obviously the last big thing is for her to meet my family. So
Sure.
I would say Rhonda was where I was like, this could be it. And I just hope it continues to grow. But then you have to like stay open, as you know, through all of it, which it's tough. It's some moments you're like, God, I don't know if I can keep doing this, because we did have something that was strongest, I think, really from Rhonda.
When did you suspect that Joey might actually be falling in love with you?
In Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What gave it
whenever.
away?
Okay, he was giving me no attention. It felt like throughout that whole date. Like I was like, this dude is literally avoiding eye contact
I got
with
flagged. I was told you're giving her too much attention. They're like,
Yeah,
hey, you need
reel
to
it
disperse
in.
it.
That always
And I think I
happens.
went way too far on the other
me.
side.
They probably were like, dial back a little bit. Like he gave
He's
me
like,
nothing.
I won't look, speak, breathe.
I
in
was
her
like, what
direction.
did I do to you?
You did nothing. You were I was in trouble. I couldn't look at you anymore, so I
No,
did it too
happens
much.
all the time.
Yeah.
And like the Bachelor doesn't realize, and they're like, dude, everyone, like these women are smart. They can
Yeah.
pick up on it. They're sensing you because they're just paying attention to your eye contact, and it's just like you can't help it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then we had that talk that evening, and I was like, it felt like you were giving me nothing. And if you want to give me your attention, I deserve your attention. And he just like reassured me so much in that conversation. And I was just like, okay, yeah. He likes
He
me.
likes you.
I was like, yeah. He
It
likes
was
me.
the other way around a lot of this too. Like I didn't know where she was at. She did a really good job kind of holding her cards to her, and like she expressed that she was falling in Montreal, but she said nothing during hometowns. I was like, come on, like give me something here. Like didn't express where her feelings were at. So I was worried going into that week, and it all worked out as it should. So
Why do you think that was the way it went for you? Are you naturally just have walls up?
I think that this is such a different scenario than real dating.
Yeah.
You don't typically tell the person, I'm falling for you.
Right.
Like I'm tripping, I think is what I said in
I did love
Rhonda. But yeah, no, I think that it was just like, oh, he knows.
Yeah.
But I should have, you
And I
have
did.
to vocalize that more through the show. And
she didn't
let
do
him
anything
know,
wrong.
but-
It's just you're as you know, your head plays tricks on you. If you don't hear the words, you're like, am I building this up more than I should
Well,
be?
yeah, part of it too is like once you're like, holy shit, I'm like falling in love with, your person, you're just like, well, again, you're like, if they leave, I'm fucked.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
we know that was the note.
Yeah.
That was the note. That we
the
need
note.
to talk. You saw a man spiraling because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do if she's leaving.
Blink twice if you didn't actually, it wasn't your idea to write that note.
Hold those eyes. Hold those eyes.
They did you
No
dirty.
comment.
They did you real
No
dirty
comment.
there. Yeah.
There
Like,
was-
what psycho writes a note like that?
Right. The funny thing is we've talked about it and she still doesn't know what she would have wrote. Like she's like, I don't know how I would have changed those words. In
Yeah,
any way.
somebody literally asked me, they were like, okay, now then tell us what you would have wrote. Like a vague, couple worded. I was like, can we talk? Like I was like, I don't know what
Are
I
you
would have wrote.
interested in talking?
Yeah. No, I don't know what I
It
would-
was a purposeful
You
conversation.
could have been like,
though.
I miss you. I want to see you.
Yeah.
Something more reassuring.
we
Definitely.
had like a moment during overnights where she obviously had the talk with Leslie and like was in the right mindset of I don't want you to promise too much to me. And I slipped during overnights and said something like, I just can't wait for you to meet my family. And she got emotional and said like, you can't do that to us. Like you have to take this step by step. I don't want any false promises. And I apologized and understood that. And she realized after that, like she wanted to come back and say, no, I hope you know I can't wait to meet your family. I don't want you to think that I didn't want to get to that process. So it was a meaningful conversation. I sweat for about an hour. That was not fun.
Going into your season, a question for both of you. You can answer it separately. Obviously, overnights, fantasy suites is like a highly talked about thing. Every season's a little different. Sometimes they sexualize it, sometimes they
Yeah.
don't. Going into the season as the Bachelor, you know that you have the opportunity to have overnights with at least 3. You know that obviously if you make the final 3, you get 1. Did you set any boundaries for yourself? Did you decide, did you open it up to like the willingness to be intimate? Did you not? Was it like, how did you guys go into that night with your expectations, and your expectations kind of live out, or
Yeah.
did things change?
I'll let you go first. You want me to go?
I could go. Well, I just want to say I think that Joey navigated fantasy suites perfectly, in my opinion. But yeah, I was.
Sounds like you don't hook up with anyone else.
to me. I'm not going to give any more details on that, but I thought he navigated it perfectly. And yeah, I knew that we were going to talk about more like, our political views and things like that.
Yeah,
and
the
like
deeper
pressing,
combos.
issues that I guess that were maybe make or breaks for us that we didn't want to talk about on camera. We talked so much about all of that stuff. But yeah, I knew that he was going to spend the night with 2 other women. And even just thinking about him sleeping next to another woman,
Of course.
kind of bothered me. But at the same time, I was like, I'm just going to focus on him and I didn't want to know anything about anybody else. I didn't hear anything until afterwards. But yeah, I think that he navigated it really well. And I just tried taking it step by step.
I was deathly afraid of fantasy suites.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it
that
sucks, yeah.
feels like it's just like the death scent of every Bachelor ever. So yeah, I think she touched on it really well. I did think through everything. I was doing my best to handle that situation. That's not easy as well as I could. And I do think it's important to highlight, like, that is a very important night to talk through things. And that's what I really tried to focus on. And yeah, I handled it the best way that I could.
Were there any awkward moments in your conversations and overnights where either of you were like, oh, didn't love that, like, oh, new information?
You can speak on if I felt like it was almost too good. Like it was weird because it does happen. Sometimes you have those like weird awkward pauses. Like, this is kind of awkward. I don't know you that well, but we talked and talked and talked.
We just clicked. We were laughing a lot. What we did during Fantasy Suites was like go through every week, and I was like, "Why did you do this?" And like break down like little things and
a whole synopsis.
Yeah, and it was just fun to like go through the whole experience together and talk about all that. I think I read like one of my journal entries to him.
Yeah, that was sweet.
I was like,
she's a ball of energy, and I need my sleep. So I was also like, at the end, the fact that I was able to stay up to 4 or 5 a.m. said a lot for me, because that's not usual. I would probably be already asleep.
Yeah,
by that
knowing
time.
about him with his sleep now, I'm like, wow. I was like, he really loved me. I was like, to stay up that late.
It's necessary.
When you told Daisy, sorry to bring her up,
but
when
it's gonna be part of the combo.
It seems like you guys are all like
we're
chill and
understandable.
Cool.
Of the
lot of
whole
mutual
thing.
respect there. But when you dropped "or just in general," did you knew that you kind of fucked up there?
Man, I think what people saw was like, I was intentional with my words, and almost to a fault unknowingly. And I looking back on it, I saw it. I'm like, yeah, like that was very obvious. And I'm happy about that because I tried my best to be real through it. But yeah, I mean, some people can look at that as me messing up. Others can say like, wow, he really was just trying to be honest and not trying to lead anyone on.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I respect that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like when I was in your position at that point, I had known what it's like to be in Daisy's shoes twice.
It's tough.
It sucks. And so I was very like self-conscious. I mean, to the point where I was very careful with my words. I was not going to lead anyone on. Like I was determined when I got done that the people I sent home, while maybe in the moment they would have been like surprised, but it would have made sense. Like they were never going to say, but why'd they fucking say this? Or why'd they fucking say that? That made no fucking sense. And so, yeah, I mean, when I say screwed up, I just mean from a show standpoint, it was like, I can just imagine the producers in the back being like, fuck! Because Daisy's obviously seems to be a highly intelligent person who it's just like, all right, like, it's not me.
And I think that's all you can do. And I do pride, I think, on the entire process. What I do love is both Rachel and Daisy leaving. Like, there was a mutual understanding. And I know that's not usual, and that speaks for them and their character, but also just how I think we tried to handle all of this.
Nice.
Yeah, I was lucky, that's for sure. Could have went a lot of different ways.
All right, no more filming questions. Thanks
thanks
for indulging us.
You know we
got to get into those questions.
When it was sold to me that y'all were in love was when the viral moment where Joey said, "Oh, say it again," or say it louder. That
Say it again.
Say it again. That went viral. How many times have you rewatched it? I mean, like,
tell the truth, Kelsey.
the riz, the charisma.
I'm not gonna lie, it's probably an unhealthy amount of times that I was like, again.
It was so hot. It was so hot. It was so good.
And in that moment, it was like, I was just so engulfed in the moment, and I was just like, oh, he wants me to say it again.
Yeah.
And I remember afterwards, one of the producers was like, what the heck was that? Like she was like, are you kidding me? Did you just realize like what all he just said to you and all of this? And it was really special. But it was so fun to rewatch.
Watch it back. It was so good.
I wanted her to do it right. Like she like giggled and did her little cute goofy thing, like, I'm falling for you. Like, no, like look me in the eyes and say it again. Like, do this right.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So cute.
You guys are a cute, very cute couple.
Thank you.
I know we've talked a little bit offline, and I know, comments on the internet can be annoying, if nothing else. And as much as you've been beloved by Bachelor Nation, some of the feedback, even by us, has been like, what do we really know about this guy?
Yeah.
Even with Kelsey, I think, if you've had a lot of big characters on your show, and as wonderful as you are, I think some of the internet conversations like, oh, she's boring. I think you even made a TikTok something about that. And so obviously I'd love to have a conversation to debunk some of those,
love to.
preconceived notions. Having been in your shoes before, and having talked to other friends of mine who've been in your shoes before, I have yet to experience on my own, because I've only done it once, but every other Bachelor couple I'm aware of, especially Bachelor couple, but just because of the timing, because you guys wrapped like right around Thanksgiving?
Right, right before.
Yeah, and then now we're in March.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 6 months you've had to hide this shit. So first you film, it's like, all right, you have your happy couple weekend, that's cool. Oh, by the way, how did you guys... One more question, sorry.
You're good.
When you got in your happy couple first weekend, when you mentioned earlier that you kind of found out what happened or didn't happen in the fantasy suite with the other women. Did you bring it up or did you ask?
I did all of that, and I didn't
Yeah.
waste a second. That was even when we were still in Tulum.
Tulum, yeah.
I
Okay.
tried my best because I didn't want her to ever think like I was trying to hide or hold anything away from her. So I also got the ability to like ask her when we were in Tulum, like, what do you want to know? And let's talk through it. We can have these conversations later, but I don't know what they're going to show because obviously things get cut out in some ways. But like, you let me know what you want to know and I'll tell you everything. And like, it definitely starts off a little difficult with giving all the tea of what happened that season, but I think she appreciated that.
Yeah.
That's very. Sounds like you handled it very well. Also, sounds like you didn't have much to hide.
No.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Quick conversation.
Because it's like, hey, I can tell you. Like, I want to tell you. Ask me. Ask me. Did I do it? I didn't fucking do it.
Yeah, he's like kicking his feet. Like,
But in all seriousness, it is an incredibly difficult period between when you guys wrap filming until now.
Mhm.
Because first, you don't get to hang out. You guys spent, I don't know, 10, 12 hours tops together falling in love. Most of falling in love like that. I tell people falling in love in The Bachelor is falling in love by like being withheld from each other.
Mhm.
Every moment you have a great moment, they pull you away. So you spend most of your time missing someone and falling in love with them in your head. And then when you get engaged, it's like, then you get to find out whether you were right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is kind of how it is. What has it been like? I've never met a Bachelor couple who didn't talk about just how difficult it was,
Yeah.
how terrible it was. There was always a breaking point. There was always like, oh, can we really make it? I mean, I know of myself included and other Bachelor couples that like going into, and you guys seem very happy and in love, but even going into AFR, there was like tension in that week before. So what has it been like for you guys? And where has been the difficult moments that you've had to work through?
I mean, I think that surprisingly, we've been really good. I think that we've been really great at working through things. I'm not watching the show like fully. I kind of, don't watch it all. I think that a lot of times you can get frustrated watching it back and be like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And I did
Yeah.
have my moments of that. Like, why did you say this to her? What the heck was that? But he was always very patient with me. The show provided us a couples counselor,
Mhm.
which was really helpful.
Good for them.
Yeah,
That's
and
new.
she is amazing. She like helps us, I think, understand sometimes what each other are trying to say.
Right.
And, like there are some weeks where we were just like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. And she would just help us with like building things for the future and things like that. But yeah, no, I think that, this past week, I think we've been the best.
It's been amazing. The
Yeah.
couples counseling was a game changer
Mhm.
for
Is
sure.
that something that they've done recently?
I think so.
They've talked about it. I know like from the past two couples, they like tried to get people set up because there's obviously therapists from the show, but then you have to do something outside of it.
Sure.
The person we found was new and we've like been raving about her and telling the show like you need to keep her on because it did make a difference. And
So you guys found the couples therapist on your own, and they just kind of helped.
we like talked through it. Like they gave us like options, and then
Okay.
we actually tried someone, it didn't work, and then we found someone that we had that first session. Like this is going to change everything.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
and I'll speak more on that too. Like the initial was hard, and
Yeah.
for different reasons. First, she's obviously processing all of it, like believing that it was fully her because that comes with time and actions, and that's still I'm gonna still be working on that every day moving forward. But I was drained. This
Yeah.
whole entire thing, emotionally, physically, like I felt for maybe a good week or 2 weeks that I couldn't even like be my normal self.
Sure.
And I can understand how that even affects a relationship. And I still feel for her that like I wasn't being my best self right away. And that affects when you're trying to get out of it. So that was a big part
Yeah.
that I had to take ownership of and work on getting me back to a good spot. And then after that, as she said, we're learning communication styles,
Yeah.
and it's all virtual, which is not normal in any way.
Yeah.
So we tried our best to like figure out, okay, if you have a moment, how do we get outside of it? If I have a moment, like how do we take a pause? Because usually you can go and be touching the person next to them, actually feeling their energy, and none of that stuff is natural. And the show does put you in an unrealistic
It does
situation.
not set up. It does not set you up for
Yeah.
success.
Exactly.
And just
And-
by, there's limitations. It's a show. They have to work within those parameters. So it's not necessarily on purpose. It's just it is what it is.
But the one thing I'll give us both credit for that I think made the biggest difference is we never doubted that we wanted to do it. It was like, I think what I felt was like, okay, I get why sometimes it doesn't work out, because if I wasn't as crazy in love with her as I was, like I would start thinking, okay, maybe this isn't going to be worth all of this because it takes effort.
Yeah.
But we chose each other every day and we'll continue to do that. And I think that's what's most important.
I always talk about how, well, on the show in general, how chemistry is fun. It's real sexy. I mean, I think the show is set up to find out who
Right.
you have the most chemistry with, but it's not a show that tells you anything about your compatibility with anyone, what are things that you guys learned about each other that you're most compatible, and what are some things about each other that you've realized there's some non-compatibility things you've had to accept about one another?
I think that one thing that I think makes us really compatible is that I am very high energy and very like, I don't know, I have big emotions, and Joey really grounds me a lot. Like, he loves my big energy and appreciates it, but he also kind of like brings me back when I'm having, when I'm like really sad or whatever it is. He's really good at grounding me. Joey really likes his sleep, and I don't need any sleep, so maybe that's a deal. I'm like, that's tough. I'm like, you want to stay up? And he's like, I'm really tired. I want to go to bed. I'm like, do you love me still? I'm like, yeah, literally. I'm like, come on.
We both have a little bit of a stubborn gene too.
Yeah.
I think we butt heads mostly, where we like, it's hard to step outside and understand the other person's point of view. I think that's where a lot of our fights come from. Is if anything, it's just like holding on to this like point that we don't need to hold on to. And it takes time. I'm learning in relationships that hold on to the small things are not necessary. Like, there's bigger fights to have. And yeah, we have different communication styles, but she's completely right. I think the difference in our energy, I guess the idea of yin and yang, whatever you want to call it, like, I knew I needed to be with someone that had a lot of energy, because I can be slow paced. I could be boring. It's like Hawaii, it chilled me out in a lot of ways. And I know people appreciate that, but I also love when someone brings out a different side of me, and she's always done that.
Yeah, I mean, that's very similar to Natalie and I. I mean, I'm definitely boring.
Definitely boring.
Sure.
Majorly boring. But we are working on it every day.
Oh my God. Like, I didn't.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I feel like I bring like the fun side out of him as well. And his sister said that too. She's like, he needs that.
My older sister and my brother-in-law are like a couple I look up to. High school sweethearts, just have like a great relationship. And my sister's similar to me, while Zach, my brother-in-law, is similar to Kelsey.
So much alike.
So we talked a lot through that going into it. Like, I think you need this because it's done so much for her and it's opened her up in so many ways. And yeah, she brings out my goofy and silly side, which people need to see more, which is good.
You mentioned different communication styles a couple times. What is your communication styles?
Yeah, I would say we have found out that I love to fix things. Like, a lot of times when we get into fights, I want to try to find a way to be like, we're doing this right away. Like, let's get the solution. I want to understand why you feel this way. I'm trying to explain why I feel this way. And then she needs time.
Yeah, I'm like, back the hell up. Give me a second.
Exactly.
We can talk in a couple of minutes. But like, sometimes I just need to decompress, especially because I have ADHD, and sometimes my brain is going a million miles per minute, and it takes me a second to catch up on like everything that I'm thinking. Sometimes I'm just like, can you just ask me yes or no questions in these moments?
And I need to learn that.
I'm like, there's too much going on up here.
I get that. Like, and she's done a really good job. We find out that we have better conversations when we're outside of those periods, because when it's really heightened, like, I'm still emotional, but she's definitely has more of an emotional side. So I can logically talk through it, but she's just going to spew stuff she doesn't want to say. And it makes problems bigger, but it's hard. It's taken me time. And I learned that that's something that's important. It can't always just be about what you're feeling. You have to think about what she's feeling too, because we're trying to get to the resolution here.
That's how Nick and I are. We like to, if we see that we're not really going anywhere, getting to that solution, we'll be like, one of us will be like, this, we need to table this.
It's usually Natalie.
It is usually me, because I'm like you, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about this right now. Pause. And so I'm like, we should table it. Yeah. And we table it, and I'm like, let's circle back tomorrow, or when we're just like not so
Our therapist, Darlene, reminds us that if you're fighting for more than 5 minutes, it's just you, your child selves fighting with each other. So,
Totally.
That's good. Therapy is helpful.
Yeah.
Man. Is this your first time in therapy?
I mean, I started doing it a little bit with the show. I did feel really good after charity season. I was going to do it, but like, Hawaii is my own version of therapy in a lot of ways. When I got back there and I took a break, so I didn't feel it. But when I got off of this, like, I've been
island?
Searching. Kauai. Yeah, I loved it there.
Is that the one your cousins
Oahu.
Oahu, yeah. So Kauai is the northernmost island right above Oahu. It's more low key. It's the same size as Oahu, and it's got like, I'm probably gonna butcher this now, but I think it's got around like 100,000 people is the population on Kauai, and Oahu's like 1 million.
So it's
just a totally different vibe. Yeah.
So much of your season, obviously, I think the internet had fun with the trauma dumping that you had to deal with. And obviously, Kelsey, you were so very vulnerable talking about your mom and that experience. But we didn't really get to really learn about Joey and his past, or whatever trauma you might have, or things you had to overcome. Again, we all have our past traumas that we bring into our current relationships. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about your past relationships. Obviously, we're here to celebrate you two. But Kelsey, what have you learned about Joey's past, about what he's had to deal with or what he's had to overcome that you've learned about that's, helped you understand him a little bit better as a partner?
Yeah, I think that he had a lot of these insecurities like coming on the show because of previous relationships and maybe not feeling like they accepted him fully for who he was. So, I did learn that. And so I just try to reassure him a lot in that like everything that he is completely perfect for me. We work on our communication styles for each other, but like who Joey is as a person is perfect for me. I don't need him to change a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I mean, you can speak on it more, but I feel like that was what a lot of the insecurities were coming on from that. But
of course, I think everyone has their past, and
you've had your heart broken.
Yeah. Definitely once fully, and the other times I always look more at timing, right? Like I think of Charity's whole situation, that's timing. She had someone else. It was the situation I was in. I had a long relationship when I was in Nashville, and I ended it because I felt like I realized even when I went on the show, I wasn't really over the relationship I had in Hawaii. But I try as much as I can to protect it because like the talking about it, because I know how much those relationships are fragile and there's so much more behind it. They were both so great, the two people I dated before I went on the show in general. But the one in Hawaii was tough. It was a surprise. I didn't see it coming. I was kind of thinking that could have been someone forever. But I know now that everything happened for a reason because I was blinded by a lot of stuff and I had so much growth to do.
Other than everything happens for a reason, what is one thing you learned through that experience after you kind of overcame the pain of whatever you felt? Like, what is something you learned about how you were in relationships or how you grieved a relationship that you decided you wanted to change about yourself?
Love languages was huge. Understanding how other people give love and receive love was really big for me. Because I found out when I was going through all that time, like why didn't she feel that? Or like in past relationships, why would they possibly not feel that I did have love for them? Why did it not work out? I found out that like I love physical touch, quality time. Words of affirmation are huge for me. I need to hear it from time to time. But naturally, I really only gave it with quality time and physical touch. I wasn't good at speaking through it. Acts of service, I was terrible at. So that came honestly from the time I spent. It was actually from the relationship I had in Nashville because she was honest and open about what she needed. And I had to grow a lot. I'm still growing every day. Like there's a lot I need to learn. And this is a whole new thing this is the most important relationship in my life now. And I know that my job is to understand how she needs to feel loved because I don't ever want her to not feel loved every day. But that takes time. You have to go through all of that. And I will say like, I was honest about that totally on the show. I just can't show it all. So I think everyone felt like I was trauma dumping on them back.
Unfortunately, being the Bachelor, people don't realize it's your job to help us get to know the women. Yeah. And the assumption is we already know you from the past season. Yeah. Even though that's often not the case, but it is frustrating.
Yeah. But I had a lot to grow. And looking back on that relationship was not where it was. And when I was in Hawaii and the one in Nashville, I always it's timing. It wasn't the right person. And it's all led me to this moment. And now I'm putting all my energy and effort into the right person. And that's what I'm focusing on.
Love that. What do you guys like to do, like for fun, to veg out? Like what shows are you watching together?
Oh, we're watching all of us?
This Is Us,
This Is
right?
Us.
That one.
You guys crying together?
Yeah, those are very different shows.
Oh my gosh, I'm like sobbing on every moment. Yeah, we were sobbing. We were like holding.
That first season, we're not even through it yet. And I was like, I don't think I can do this.
We also watched Love on the Spectrum. Love that one.
That was amazing. Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Yeah, and we love puzzles.
Yeah,
we're puzzle people.
Yeah,
Wow.
We started puzzling. It was, I mean, we were stuck in a house and we were like trying to think of ways that we could do stuff. She also love it, but like she struggles sitting down sometimes. Like watching shows are tough for her because she wants to be moving and doing stuff. So puzzle was like a great way for us to talk through and like be doing stuff. It sounds so dumb.
I sound like a child.
You have to find that piece.
No, we also found out every time we do a puzzle,
so
we're so bad. We each keep a piece.
Hide
and we've
it
done
so we
it
can be
every
the
time.
last person.
And it's always happened, and it's gotten to the point now that it's actually 2 or 3 pieces when we do a puzzle.
my
Like,
gosh.
like, oh, they're missing, and then she's like, I'm like shaking her down and grabbing a puzzle piece. So stupid, but it's the stuff you do, you know. It's and that's the beauty of this show sometimes too, is you kind of revert back to like simpler things rather than watching shows or being on your phone sometimes.
Kelsey, what's the weirdest thing you've learned about Joey? It's kind of off. Like maybe there's an ick, you know? I don't know. Like
I got plenty.
I was like, maybe the bunions.
Oh, dude.
Bunions.
Not my biggest insecurity.
Bunions on
on a national podcast.
Damn.
Is that a tennis injury?
No, I was born with them. It's
no.
child induced, man. In fourth grade.
Eyes.
Oh, and then my jaundice eyes, all of them. Yeah, when I was in fourth grade, I actually had surgery on my right foot because it was like that bad. Like my big toe was under the other two. I call them my triangle feet. They're ugly. They're not coming out on this right
I was
now.
about to say, there is a thing called Wiki Feet.
Yeah.
You?
I'm looking into.
thinking about it.
Does Joey have
Joey
a
on
Wiki Feet
yet?
score? He probably does.
It's
It
like a
will be
page
after
for
this. People will find them.
It's like negatives. They're like-
There was a photo I put up on Instagram, like I think during the Bachelorette season, of me like on a skateboard with my shoes off, and I was like, man, someone's gonna see.
He literally was like, should I not?
Someone's gonna zoom
He
in
asked
on
me, he was
this
like, should
thing.
I not? Can you tell the bunions? Should I not post?
Let's see.
If I have a foot page, that would be terrible.
Joey Bachelor Feet.
It's a.
It's so it
Wiki
did
page.
it got brought up on
second one.
my
With Jen.
date with Jen.
Or no.
Right? No.
Yeah, Wiki
It
Feet.
was
It was
We'll just go to
not a
Wiki Feet,
date.
then,
Sorry,
Joey.
it was when we were at the cocktail
in
party
Malta.
in Malta, because she had a thing where you like sat by the pool, and there was multiple times in the show where I felt like they tried to get my feet out because they knew about it, and it didn't make it in a lot, but the Jen scene did make it in.
And our like massage.
Yeah, the massage. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the close up on the feet.
We thought that we were going to be getting massages, and then we had to do it to each other. And I was like, I don't know how to
Look at those
people.
crooked things. You can zoom in if you want. There's
what's
worse
what's the
ones.
score?
This is in Hawaii. I was just jumping into
No,
a
it's
you
his-
look great
what's his
there,
feet
but no, you have a
score?
feet score.
There we go. I have a foot score.
Yeah.
You can zoom in on those puppies if you want to see them. There's a nice bone.
Is he
Does
5
he
star?
have a score, Leia?
4.73 out of 5.
That's high. That's good.
Wow.
It's probably-
4.73.
I
That's
think as
really
long as it
good.
didn't have that
I think
little
we need to
bump,
remind
I'd
them
be
that you
okay.
do have bunions. Maybe
Yeah.
they can't
It's
see
about
them
to
very
tank
well.
tonight.
Yeah, quick, they're running.
Everyone's going to
Everyone's
go
like,
rate
no.
them.
They look good. I mean, you've done a good job of
He
taking
photoshopped
those
it.
like.
Oh, there's photos that will never see the light of day. Yeah.
Why did you move to Hawaii?
Timing in my life. I know I said timing a lot of times, but that was like a weird situation of how that happened. My uncle was a teaching tennis pro, so he kind of got me into
The
the
one
sport.
we got to see.
Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Yep. I was graduating college. I was doing communications major, was gonna do something in social media marketing, but I spent my last summer getting ready for my tennis season in Hawaii. Decided to like train there with my uncle, and I was part-time teaching at the local place. Met the GM, met the head pro. He retired the exact same time that I was graduating college. And I made a really good relationship with the GM. And he was like, you know what? We want to have a 22-year-old head tennis pro. You're going to be independent contractor, you get to go and work at this place and run a 4-court facility. So I kind of ditched the social media thing and jumped on a plane and decided to go live in Hawaii for a bit.
Well, how long were you there for?
I lived there for about 3 years. Initially, I was on the North Shore for about a year and a half, South Side for a year and a half. Went through my crisis of I'm 25 and living on an island. I haven't got a chance to live in a city. Decided to move to Nashville for 2 years. Had that whole entire thing where I was there, did sales, hated it, went back to tennis, and then a job offer came for me to go back to Hawaii to be a lifestyle person. So I worked for a place where I was taking people on beach trips, going in surf lessons, teaching tennis, pickleball, going on a sailing canoe. So I was like an ambassador for the program. And I did that for a year before I got asked to go on Bachelorette.
Very cool.
Some photos have resurfaced. Kelsey, how do you feel about Joey's long hair?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Which part of it?
Well,
Is it? Well, I was gonna say you got a great haircut. Was it accurate?
This is just for
I
you.
do
Natalie.
approve.
yeah.
I do approve.
This is just for you. No more Oompa Loompa today.
The guy with such good hair. It was such a shame of a haircut.
It's been a mix because like we try during the season to keep it short, but I mean, yeah, it gets fluffy very
It
quickly.
was down to
Great
like your
haircut.
shoulders in Hawaii.
Oh
No?
yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I don't know if I love the, that length on him.
Understandable.
I love the curls. I like it when his hair is a little curly, but also I saw him with a buzz cut and it was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot.
Joe.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
You got a face for it.
Hey,
If
there's
you-
only one person that can have good hair in this relationship. Kelsey's got that lock.
I mean, no one had worse hair on The Bachelorette than I did. So
Yeah.
if it makes you feel any better.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Your hair was bad on The Bachelor.
Oh
There it
boy.
is.
Yeah.
That doesn't even look like you, man.
Yeah. No, I think that was the ugliest year of my life.
Yeah.
I feel like you've aged backwards.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Allie is
She's laughing.
losing it. So is your dad Golden Bachelor.
I mean, that would be awesome. I think that he probably would first have to go on Golden Bachelorette so he could still be relevant. Yes, he is single. He's only really dated, I think, one lady for like a second.
He can just skip that and just have him date my mom.
I have a mother-in-law, soon to be mother-in-law. And I don't like setting people up. I think setting people up is the worst.
Yeah.
But I am proud to have a mother-in-law that I think is very set-upable.
Yeah.
And she's in Alabama.
Oh,
Alabama.
Not too far.
Not too far from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Your new
Something
job
to think
is
about.
Definitely.
matchmaker
I
for
know.
your dad.
She's cagey about it. She's protective of her father.
Understandable.
Yeah.
No, she. I mean,
But she is Natalie's mom.
Oh,
She's my mom.
I know we could be related.
Well, I'm just saying, and Natalie's mom does think your dad's hot.
I think everyone in America.
I was going to say the
thinks
amount of
that Mark
DMs
is
and
hot.
thirst traps I've seen, and they're just all resurfacing now since, the AFR. And I'm just like, oh, this is a little traumatizing. No, but I think that my dad deserves like all the love and support that he's been
100%.
getting. I think that he's very like confused about it. Like he came to the bar with us last night after AFR, and everybody was coming up to him, like people from the show, and they were like, we're such big fans. It was so funny. And he was just like, oh, I'm a fan of yours. Like he was just saying it back. He's like, this is so weird and foreign to him. But I made him go public on Instagram. So.
Well, good for you. Because like honestly, you come on the show, you're super vulnerable about the passing of your mom, and the next thing you know, your dad's like a heartthrob.
Yeah, my brother's
like,
so jealous.
Oh my God, I'm sure.
You're like, why did you do that for me?
He's like, how does it feel living my dream?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying we could make an introduction.
We could be sisters.
Yeah.
We could be. That would be awesome.
You were so vulnerable opening up and talking about your mom. What do you feel like are qualities she instilled in you?
I mean, she like instilled it so hard into me and all my siblings, like the type of man that we deserve, especially seeing her and my dad's relationship and how my dad, even just like seeing how my dad took care of her at the end. He did so much for her. And yeah, my mom just always was like, you don't deserve anything but the best. And she also, I mean, like she was a badass. She was Soldier of the Year in the Army. And I say that because that just shows like what a woman she was. And then she, also was an amazing mother. She did so many things. It was so adventurous and full of life, even until like the very end when she was super, super sick. She was always just so loving and supportive and would go to all of my brother's football games, like would be there at any event that she possibly could. So yeah, I think that she just really showed us, what we deserved, and also like we could be whatever we wanted to be. Yeah.
Obviously, you guys, I know you're engaged, but you still have a lot of getting to know each other.
Totally.
It sounds like you guys are, acknowledge that, and that's amazing. On this season, your conversation with Lexi, you kind of got some shit from people, like what sounded almost like a 10-year plan for kids.
Right.
And I'm not trying to sit here and ask like, when you guys plan on having kids, but like it seems like you're very excited about this relationship. Have you two had conversations about any type of family planning? What kind of family that are you interested in having? What does that timeline look like? Has it changed since you've met someone like Kelsey?
Yeah, I think that I was honest with everyone through the process, like what my, I guess, idea was for this, because it is different meeting someone on this show. Like I think it'd be wrong to jump into a marriage too quickly, because we are learning and dating again, and we have so much to look forward to. But yeah, we decided that 3-year engagement kind of made sense. That was what we were thinking, but we know that can change. Definitely want to have an ability to enjoy our marriage. Things happen, things change. We definitely want kids. One of the really special things, I don't even know if it ever made it on the show, was that Kelsey always wanted to adopt. That was something that she was really big on. And she wants to probably have like 20 kids. I would rather stay. I'd rather stay more in like the 3 range. We already have the name of our first kid figured out. So like we're talking about this stuff. So it's something that we want to build a beautiful family, because we have 2 beautiful families of our own. But yeah, we're taking things slow, because I think that's important after doing
You
something
should
like
say
this.
the name so no one can steal it.
It's easy, because it would be taking her last name. Anderson's her last name, soon to obviously be her maiden name, and we kind of love it most for a girl and calling her Andy with an I. Yeah, so Anderson Grazade was the idea of the first kid.
Yeah.
We definitely went our daughter's River.
Congratulations, by the way. How's parenting been?
Love.
It's the best thing. I feel like I was put on this earth to be a mom.
Love
and so I also want 20 kids.
Yeah.
And I would love to adopt half of them. So I don't know
I'm
if
not
could.
trying to speed anything up, but it's truly great. I wish I didn't wait as long as I did.
Yeah.
Obviously,
totally.
I had to meet someone like Natalie to be ready for it. But if
Mhm.
you are lucky enough to have this relationship flourish, I can't recommend it enough.
I have no doubt that's
All
something
right,
we're
we'll
gonna
start
look
working
for.
on
Let's
it. We gotta get out of here.
go.
All right, I gotta get out of here. We'll leave y'all to it.
What you talked at AFR about you moving to New Orleans, and then it sounds like you guys are gonna head your way to New York City.
Yes.
How did you guys come to that decision?
Well, we are traveling so much in these next couple, like 3 months or so.
Yeah.
We are like nonstop traveling. So I was like, I have my lease here in New Orleans, and I also am still working at my company, and I love what I do. I work in construction project management, but it's exciting to me. So I'm still working, and yeah, it just made sense for him to come to New Orleans. Him staying in Philly just didn't make sense, especially since we are still building this relationship. And then I've always wanted to live in New York, and it's close to Philly where a lot of his family is from. So, he was like, let's live in New York then. Yeah.
You should see her face when she talks about New York. Like if we had enough time, she lights up. I knew it from pretty much when we were finishing out the show. I was like, man, if someone told me like a year ago I was gonna be living in New York after living in Hawaii, I would call them crazy. But it's something she really wants to do, and I'm really excited for it. Actually, from doing press and being in that city, like I think it's gonna be a really fun place for us to like.
Was that your first time there?
It was the first time I really like was there.
It's a great city.
I didn't go that much. I went when I was younger, but I wasn't 21. I wasn't able to like actually enjoy it. We got friends there. I think it's gonna be great. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna continue Are you able to continue working, or do you think you're just gonna find a whole new?
So I think that, I'm switching to part-time just because of how much travel we have, but I'd like to, do something in New York with that still, because I mean,
what exactly is your construction
project management?
So what is that? What's a day in the life?
Well, the project or the company I work for now, we do owner representative work. So we are on the owner side of the project, helping make sure that the owner gets everything they want from the project, for, like in all aspects of scope, with like the timeline and the budget, and making sure that the contractor is doing what they say that they're doing. And yeah, I mean, pretty much like you're going out to the job site, you're having meetings, and you're just checking up on everything. But I really love working with people.
The hustle and bustle.
And I love the hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
And I think that also finishing a project, the one I'm working on right now is a 1 million square foot building that we're renovating. So it's huge. And so I think that'd be really fun to help a commercial building in New York City.
Yeah. I feel like there'll be so much of that in New York, and it'll be like skyscrapers.
Exactly. I'm like, that is so cool.
Is that like hearing her talk about her job kind of like,
It does it do it for me? Yes. You see how excited she is? I just love when someone's excited about what they do.
Sure.
Like we know there's gonna be new doors opening. We're open to a lot of possibilities of what's gonna come next. I think she should model, to tell you the truth, because she's the most gorgeous person ever, and she would do great at that. But I know she has such a passion about what she does, so I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's just cool to see a building that you helped finish and be like, I took part in that,
Oh yeah.
Joey, do you know Kelsey's celebrity crush?
Yeah, and it's he's a nice man. I was surprised by it.
Oh my God, have you met him?
No, he just seems like a nice guy. She loves Michael Strahan.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love that.
was my response as well.
He just seems so nice. I want to go get a mug.
That's how I feel
how have you not met him? I feel that's
right?
Yeah. I did GMA, but he wasn't around, so yeah. But that's her celebrity.
What is your celebrity crush?
Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
He says it in like every interview. I'm like, we get it. You love Dua Lipa. Go to her concert.
Switch it up.
Okay. Touchy subject.
I was really hoping you weren't going to ask for mine.
I'm joking.
Go to her concert.
I'm joking. Just joking.
I'm joking.
Oh, that is awesome. Have you guys talked about, I mean, I know you mentioned everything's on the table, but what makes you guys the most nervous about like a life in the public space?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I think that at the beginning it was really hard for me to see how people are so judgmental and always, I feel like I kind of want to pick you apart. But just, I think through this whole process, I've gotten better at that. And you have too,
Yeah.
but just that, all eyes are on you. I think that.
Public eye relationships different. I don't think you can ever prep for it. She said something through the process early on. I think it was during overnights. That was really big. Asking a lot of questions, and I said, like, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think about what this is going to be like after? Because this is going to be new for both of us. I've never been in a relationship like this, but how would you handle this? And her response is something I'll never forget. She said, if we ever live and have our relationship be for other people, I want to cut it right then and there. Like, I don't want to have that be it anymore. So that let me know, like, okay, this girl is invested in actually being with me. She knows that this is fun, a cool opportunity. There's going to be a lot of things that come from this, but at the end of the day, like, the foundation we create is what's most important.
Have you guys, like, between the two of you, like, come up with any like rules or boundaries, you know, specifically like how, for example, do you guys help police each other or, you know, support each other in like staying off of comments and things like that, or Reddit? Because that's, I mean, I can't. When it comes to Bachelor Love Nights, that's one bit of advice I always give, and no one fucking listens. We talk about it a lot, and just like, you know, and you know, listen, I do a really good job of staying off, but we're all human. We all have our moments, and like, you know, Natalie and I will definitely be ones to remind ourselves, like, do you guys do stuff like that, and how do you guys keep your sanity when it comes to basically, and that's the thing about having a platform, everyone has access to you,
right?
In terms of offering their insight or opinion, which you're not supposed to have. It's really none of your business,
right?
And yet it's almost impossible not to see.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, a lot of times I'll like send it to Joey, or I'll call him. I'll be like, listen to what this person said. And he's like, ignore it. It doesn't matter. And a lot of times I do just scroll past. I just ignore it, you know. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, what the heck is this? I mean, I have like replied to a couple of the comments, but I usually am just joking. I laugh them off a lot. I try not to take it too seriously because it's like, we know who we are.
You definitely have to kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
there's no
and they're just
point.
Excited that you responded most of the time.
Even if you get a like.
Sometimes whenever they're like kind of rude, and like I'll reply back and I'm just nice. I'm just like, oh, da da da. Then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. And it's like,
100%.
okay.
They can say
know your place. No,
horrible things, and they'll still say that.
Yeah.
And it's new for all of us. It's something that I think we do our best with, but it's crazy. We've been lucky though. We haven't gotten a lot. And I think, like you said, the human part's so interesting because you could have 99% love, but that 1% holds so much stronger when you see those comments. And we're learning through it. But
I always say to Nick, like, everyone thinks that I this, everyone thinks that. He's like, who's everyone? I'm like, well, I got 2 DMs. And he's like, okay.
I'm the exact same way. I always say everyone. And he's like, everyone? Like, what are you talking about?
So much everyone. But I've been in that spot where the one or two.
It's the same person commenting 5 times.
Oh my gosh, there's a couple of those.
I also told her too, sometimes it's not a bad idea maybe just to click on the profile. Just take a look and see what they're looking like, and maybe you'll understand this is probably not someone you even really want to focus on their opinion.
Or real.
Yeah.
Or real.
The extra step of just clicking it, being like, okay, wait, I'm okay. Like, I don't need to listen to what this person's saying.
So are you going to set up Natalie's mom with your dad?
Listen, it sounds like she has a lot of options to go through, and
it's overwhelming the amount of DMs
it's that bad.
Oh my gosh. Literally, some of the Golden ladies were like, put me on the list. I was like,
shit.
Put me at the top.
Yeah. I think my dad's like just so overwhelmed by it all. But
Natalie's mom's not one to chase. So when when things calm down, when he's ready.
Totally.
She's a catch for sure.
What actor and or actress do you think would play the two of you?
I got hers right away. Everyone's been saying Julia Roberts, and I see it fully after seeing some of the pictures too.
Or my natural hair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, with your natural hair.
I'm really bad at actor names, so I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of someone like cool, calm, and collected. Yeah. I'm trying to think of someone like cool, calm, and collected, but I don't know. I feel like.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like who
wise?
he looks like, but someone maybe just like that gives his same vibe or his same energy. Michael Strahan.
Is he an actor?
No, but he would for you.
He would do it.
For me? You think so?
I don't know.
Can we ask?
Yeah, where is he?
Does Joey have a celebrity lookalike?
Timothy Chalamet a little bit?
Or like the Jonas Brothers all in one?
He's definitely kind of giving like Nick Jonas.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I can see that.
What did Tom Holland say? He's double handsome to Timothy Chalamet. So
double handsome.
Double handsome. I'll take it.
Okay.
I kind of feel my celebrity crush is Steve Harvey. Right. I mean, it just makes sense. But I don't know if I feel like Nick would be a more like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
But I would love for Steve Harvey to
I can see Ryan Reynolds.
play you.
That'd be an interesting movie to watch.
We both like giving relationship advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're both funny.
Think like a man 3, and you can take his spot, and you can be that guy.
Oh wait, maybe Mr. Darcy.
She loves Pride and Prejudice.
I love
you know that movie?
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it, but I wouldn't say I know it.
Wait, from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, Dr. or Dreamy?
McDreamy.
Yes,
McDreamy? Yeah.
McDreamy.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
have
That's
heard that
perfect.
one.
Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yeah. Okay. There we
There
go.
you
Patrick
go.
Dempsey. I think we
Okay.
got it.
There it
Patrick
is.
Dempsey
There it
and
is.
Julia Fox.
Julia
Oh,
Roberts.
Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Megan Fox. I got Megan Fox on my mind.
I saw jump scares all around. That was a
Julia
room
Fox.
full
Oh, yeah,
of jump
yeah.
scares.
Wow.
Different people.
Dude, different people. Julia Roberts. I'm watching that movie.
Pretty Woman?
No, our
Their
Oh,
movie.
Oh.
And we'll watch, what was it, Steve Harvey and who?
Yeah, who am I?
Oh yeah, gotta bring it home.
Who do you get a lot?
Okay, cheating. Figure it out yourself. What is the girl's name from Riverdale? Everyone says Camilla.
Camilla
yes.
Mendes.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes,
can see that.
1000%. Mhm.
Okay.
All
Especially
right.
the
Steve-
slick back hair.
Steve
Steve Harvey and
Steve-
Camilla.
I still Steve Harvey's
I would
amazing.
definitely watch that movie. Definitely. Where is it at?
Like, ooh.
Steve Harvey, if you're listening, please.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
We are. It's moving time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
We're doing
moving
that quick?
already?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're doing it quick
Love.
just because you tell what do you got coming up this weekend?
Oh, I have I'm running the Crescent City Classic 10K in New Orleans for
Hey.
the Covenant House, which is a nonprofit in New Orleans.
You're running.
I'm running it.
You're a
Yeah.
runner.
Well, I don't know if I'll run the whole thing. I'll be doing it all.
She got to talk about your bunions. I didn't get to ask you what's the weirdest thing about Kelsey.
That's good. Let's see if I can
So
think of a
many
good one.
things.
I won't expose her like she did with my bunions.
You can. It's fine. I know you are.
He's gonna be so
Can
nice.
I? Can I?
He's gonna be so
You give me the
nice.
eyes like I'm in trouble.
No, I know. I just know what you want to say. You can say it.
Okay. It's I think it's cute at this point. So let me get that
No big
disclaimer
deal.
out
Well,
there.
that's love. When
It
when you
is.
accept them
It
for their
is.
faults, and then you're just like, no, I can learn to love you.
No, she like one time we were on a date early on in the show and she ripped out a burp by accident. I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. And then
That's
all of a
kinda
sudden I
cool.
found out like no, like she burps a lot.
I think it's a problem.
she has just like a little bit. Sometimes she's a little burpy, and I'm like, oh, there's
So
another
does
one.
River.
Sound
So
like
does
our
our
daughter.
daughter.
Oh, really? Just like River. How old is River? Isn't she a couple
7 weeks.
8
Yeah.
weeks, yeah,
Okay.
7 weeks.
I was like, is she like 2 months? Okay.
Yeah, if you expose the bunions,
She's
I'm
also a
exposing
project
the
manager.
burp.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
very
a little
smart,
burpy and honestly probably need to get checked out.
That's not
It's
so
just
bad.
fine. I'll fix my bunions. You fix the burps.
Yeah. We
What
got
is
it.
it?
Who's
Killer.
messier?
Maybe
mean,
me, but
it's
I
just
don't think
because-
I'm messy.
yeah.
I just have more things, and whenever we're at like the happy couple house, sometimes they just. You know.
I grew up with sisters. I get it. She's not as messy as some of my sisters were. Sorry, girls.
Do you leave your hair in the shower walls?
Sometimes I'll forget to throw
I
it
don't
away.
think she has a choice.
But I have so
Yep.
yeah, and when I only wash my hair like once a week, so whenever I do, it's so much. It's like a little human or something, you know, like or a little animal.
And there's nowhere to put it
Yeah.
besides the wall.
Exactly. I don't want it to go down the drain.
I struggle if anything with hair. I'm the one that needs to work on it because the beard.
Oh
I
my
still haven't
gosh.
figured it out. I
What do
still-
you
You will
mean?
shave
like
over
when
the
you
sink.
when you
Oh,
like shave over the
please.
sink, like I can do it. Like I try to clean it. I
Oh,
swear it's
yeah.
different because they're these little baby hairs. Like I can't
Yeah.
find
He
them.
doesn't even try to clean
Yeah,
it.
No.
don't
I
even
try.
Yeah.
I do.
Not to do a hard pivot because I was going to ask this.
Pivot
earlier.
hard.
Your family.
Yeah.
I think on charity season it was mentioned. Obviously, your dad came out as gay.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of opportunities to talk about that on your season of The
Of course.
Bachelor, but obviously that must have been a pivotal time in your life, and it must have affected you. What did you learn from that experience? And I guess how did it affect you as a young man with your parents? Just divorce of any kind is difficult, and then obviously there's another layer of like getting to accept your dad for who he really
Right.
is. But what was that like, and what did you learn about yourself, and how did that help you or affect you being a partner in your life with potentially
Yeah,
Kelsey?
thank you for asking that. Truthfully, I love talking about this because my dad is such a special person, and I love putting light on this. So thank you for asking. But I first have to say, because this will explain me more too. I didn't know. My little sister was in like kindergarten when they separated, and they knew, and I didn't know.
Oh, so you're pretty young.
I was young.
Okay.
They got divorced. I think when it was either first grade around that time. So my little sister that was like a year or two younger than me, she was pretty young, and she knew right away that my dad had like a boyfriend and everything. But I just thought it was his roommates. Like it took me a while to figure it out until actually I think I was in like, I want to say, I suck with age. I want to say middle school, where I said something I was a little insensitive around my dad and my sisters, and they're like, Joey. And then my dad was finally like, oh, he really doesn't know. Cause like he never sat me down and had that talk, because that's a tough talk to have. And that was still to this day, like I remember that conversation, even though I was still young, and he just like tried his best to explain everything. He and my mom have so much love for each other. Like it's so obvious when you still see them together. it's just an understanding that he lived his true self. And I appreciate so much that my dad did that. And I just think he's a really special person. And I am so happy that I learned about that and start to understand like what love's like, got to be able to have him show a side of himself. He is able to live in his true light now. And it definitely made me a more understanding person, I would say.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course. I love that man. He's still single, by the way. So if anyone out there,
There we go.
slide in my DMs for my dad, and I got you.
Where's Justin?
Yeah. Just let me know.
How did your relationship with your uncle become so strong?
I think he loves to say that I was coddled. I first started going out to Chicago where he taught tennis, learned how to play tennis, also learned how to teach. And at that time, like, I was pretty soft. I had obviously a gay dad, 2 sisters, a mom that loved me to death. Like I was sensitive as could be. And I was struggling at like simple things like guy friends, like having fun with them, being able to give shit and take shit left and right. So my uncle's job was really like to toughen me up. That's what he always said. So we had a very different relationship because he was hard on me, but he taught me so much about business, taught me so much about tennis, taught me so much just how to have a little bit of a thicker skin. And my dad always says it too. Like he was a second dad to me. He helped in a lot of ways that I think my dad couldn't because that's not who my dad is. He's a very loving person. He wanted our relationship to more be a strong, almost like just a love and a friendship. My uncle took a lot of tougher roles that I still to this day think he shaped me into the man I am. So I'm grateful to both of them.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's great. It sounds like you have a great family.
I do.
How'd
I'm
you
very
become a
lucky.
Packer fan?
My mom. My mom's from the, she was
a
born
choice.
in Sheboygan
Okay,
and grew up in
Sheboygan.
born technically, I think in Green Bay area, grew up in Sheboygan. And yeah, I mean, that's all they have in Wisconsin, man. Cheese
Yeah.
and football. So
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best.
We'll have to go to a game.
Oh, are you
I
a
would love
Packers
to.
fan?
Oh my
Die
God.
hard.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger Packer fan than Joey.
you know what?
I'm
You
only
took-
saying that because I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
No, it's the only thing I really care about when it comes to sports. Like every other time I have teams, I've lived in different spots. Like I do like a lot of the Philly sports teams because I lived there for a long time. But when the Packers lose, it kills me. She was actually we were together when we watched the San Fran game.
The Niners game?
Yeah.
How does he handle a loss?
I was trying to act cool in
Nick
front of
didn't
her.
talk
She
to
didn't
me
s-
for about 48 hours.
She didn't see it yet.
No.
I didn't
no.
talk to you for 48 hours.
No,
So I was
it
very
was like
scared.
45 minutes. It was like 45 minutes.
I was like, I'm gonna
16-year-old me,
process.
16-year-old me was definitely a few days. Like adult me is like, give
Really?
me a half hour, let me walk around the block.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't let her see the full side.
Yeah.
That one's gonna come later
Well,
on.
also, I grew up a Vikings fan.
No, I was really hoping you were gonna tell him that we were doing so good.
Where did that come from?
My dad's from like Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, North Dakota.
Sure.
But yeah, so it was funny whenever Joey told me he was a Packers fan, I was like, oh no.
She pulls up pictures of her
I
and like
enjoy
a-
hating the Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know,
I just think it's like, honestly, I'm
it's a
not.
fun rivalry.
Yeah, and I do love love watching any live sporting event. I don't care who's playing, honestly. I really do like the Saints, and I love watching the Vikings. But I guess I'm gonna have to appreciate the Packers.
You're
to an
gonna become a
extent.
Packer fan.
Yeah, I told her she
didn't
really
know
doesn't
you
have a
I'm
choice.
Now I'm a fan.
I know.
Well, we'd love to do a texting office with you guys, but I know you guys have to get going. We usually have, at this point, our guest offer relationship advice.
Oh
but,
boy.
our audience will be disappointed that they didn't get to do it with you guys, because I'm sure you guys would give great advice,
We
especially
try
now you're
our
in couples
best.
therapy.
Yeah.
And
No,
I just want to say that's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you guys for doing that. Natalie and I are in couples therapy. We've been in couples therapy since we got engaged. We're just, big advocates and being proactive about your connection. And
Exactly.
love that you guys are doing that. And The Bachelor doesn't have a great track record when it comes to relationships that have started in that. And I'm certainly hoping that you guys break the mold, and I'm wishing you guys nothing but the best. You seem like a really great couple.
Thank
and
you,
you guys
guys.
seem like you have a really great start to what hopefully is a long-lasting relationship.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And hopefully sisters.
Sisters! We're all gonna be related.
Any final thoughts you want to give to our audience before we kick you out?
No, I would just say thanks again for having us on here. I would say like I was looking forward to this because I do appreciate you asking those type of questions. So we built something strong, and I'm just excited that we're finally getting out in the real world and doing this thing.
He
Yeah.
calls you Kelsey. You call him Joe.
I call him Joey. Well, because his Uncle Joe. So I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's every
Or-
time girls keep the E. It's very
Joey.
guys will drop it down the Joe, but it's
Sometimes I
rare.
like to call him Joseph for fun.
Yeah, that's when
He
I'm
doesn't
in
like
trouble.
it. But
have you ever done it when you're mad at him?
no, I don't think so.
She's never.
She's like,
mad
I've
at
never
me.
been mad at
No, I'll
Never
say it
been
like with a
mad.
British accent. I'm like, Joseph Mike.
Do you have a British accent?
She threw it on at
Joseph Mike.
didn't you, when you were like,
You had the rose at the finale.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure she
Like,
did.
you did.
I'm
You threw it
sure.
on, and we were all like, "Okay, British."
okay.
No, that's a pretty good one. Let's have a little British accent on it.
I do. Oh my god, I love Britain.
Cheerio.
I was gonna say Kelsey's is not good, but I love it.
He loves it. No, but thank y'all so much. This is so fun, and I'm glad that people get to see more of Joey, especially after all of that and all the trauma dumping on him.
Well, yeah, you were a great Bachelor, man, and
Thank
you
you.
guys are a great couple. And sincerely, we wish you nothing but the best here at the Viall Files household, and I'm sure the rest of Bachelor Nation. One more question. I'm sure you'll appreciate this. Can you give us a little bit of insight, both of you, and what we can come to expect from the new Bachelorette, Jenn?
Oh yeah, you go first.
Yeah, I think Jenn is very bubbly, and I think she has so much love to give. So, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I think that it's going to be really exciting to watch. She has so much energy. Yeah.
I'll speak more on the personal side too with her. Like, she was very honest that she grew a lot during the show from being on The Bachelor, and I think that this now new opportunity is going to be great for her because you have to. So I think she's going to grow a ton, and we're excited to tune in.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks
if
for
y'all are
listening,
in
guys.
LA, let us know.
Yes.
We will.
Double date.
Love it.
Also, Packer game for sure.
Oh.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right, well, sad to see Joey and Kelsey go, but it's still time for Texting Office Hours. And when we get back from Texting Office Hours, we'll give some final thoughts on our interview with Joey and Kelsey. Do we think they're going to make it? Yes or no? How's it going?
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm 27, and my ex-Maid of Honor is bashing my fiancé.
What'd you say? Was you bashing?
Yeah,
Okay.
They are just at war with each other.
Not smashing. Okay.
No, God, no, not
Oh my God.
smashing.
Like, oh my shit. Are you
Very
okay?
different problem.
All right.
Oh my
So your fiance and your ex-Maid of Honor fucking hate each other.
Yes.
Why is
Okay.
she your
Hate
ex-maid
each
of
other.
honor?
Yeah. Was she your maid of honor at your wedding, or did you fire her to be your maid of honor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She fired herself.
Oh.
I get married in October,
Okay.
and she just decided after I asked her if she would be it a couple months later that she no longer wanted to.
Did she start the bashing? Do they mutually don't like each other,
Yes.
or does your friend really not care for your fiance?
A little bit of both. He thinks that she could just be a better friend to me. So he's always just kind of kept his opinion to himself, like doesn't care if I hang out with her, see her, whatever. And then she saw something on TikTok that she hated, and it just kind of spiraled from there.
What did she see on TikTok?
Yeah.
Well, we went out for like my end of the year work thing. And I mean, it was fine. It was good. We were having a good time. And then after the work thing, we just like went out for drinks. And I got a little too drunk. And he like made a funny video or whatever of me like in the car eating this Rice Krispie treat. And she hated it. And she called me the next day and she was like, he just like completely disrespect you. He was like making crude jokes. Like, I don't know why you're not mad about this. Like, if that's the way he talks to you like that, then
And then
I
he
can only
posted it,
imagine like,
and then she saw it, and that's what upset her?
yeah, he
Okay.
posted it, didn't know he posted it until the next morning. And he was like, I didn't mean to put that on my story. So he deleted it at around like
Was
10 or
he
11 in the morning.
Pretty drunk too? And how did it make, I mean, honestly, how did it make you feel? Like, were you upset that it was up there? Like, did you even care?
No, I really did not even care. I've put myself in other questionable positions before in the past.
Okay.
Like when I'm drinking, I'm just out to have a good time. Like it did not bother me at all. So when she called me to like hate on this or whatever, I was just kind of like, what? I don't know what you want me to say. Like,
You're like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't care.
yeah.
Like
It
it
does
didn't
not
hurt
bother
me.
me.
Yeah.
And she just
Yeah.
couldn't handle that answer, or like,
yeah.
it's one thing to be a protective friend, but it's like, hey, listen, like, I hear you. I understand where you might see it this way. But again, we were both drunk. He did delete it. I personally don't care. He felt worse than me, to be honest, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
he
like
did.
at the end of the day, like, while I appreciate your concern, like, did you ask her if she like respects your judgment, or, kind of thing?
I should have. And I told her that like the things that you were saying were bothering me. And I should have just been like, hey, like you're taking this like too far. Like if it doesn't bother me, it shouldn't bother you. And I realized that like hindsight afterwards, I was just kind of like picking and choosing my battles with her. I was like, okay, I'm not getting into a full on argument with you about this because I don't care about the video. Like, thanks for voicing your opinion, but I also don't really
So, but like what?
care.
Okay, so there was the video. You moved on from that.
Yeah.
Like, was it downhill from there? Like, what else I mean,
Yeah.
why did it keep going?
It was downhill from there. So after the video that day, I was taking my son out to a trampoline park or whatever with him. And I was just super annoyed with that conversation. Another friend had asked me about the video in a group chat. Like I was just super annoyed about it in general.
Did she actually make it more dramatic with your other friends? Or did they see the video?
She did.
So she made it worse.
Yeah. She made it worse.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I get.
And just being annoyed. Yeah. I was just like venting to him and I was just like, I don't know why she needs to be all up in my business. Like, I get it, but like, it doesn't bother me. I was just super annoyed. And she had said things like on the phone call I had with her about like, because he like made a joke from a movie or whatever about, you know, like pushing me around or something. And he's definitely not abusive. He's like the sweetest guy in the world. But the joke was taken out of context. And so she was like low key insinuating that he was like abusive and stuff and just like super disrespectful. And so like when I was ranting to him about it, you know, I ranted to him about it and he was not happy with the things that she had said.
Sure.
Yeah, which I get. I get he's mad. But then like when we got home, he had like, you know, we were just separated in separate rooms. He said he was going to take a shower and he had sent her a message on Instagram that I did not know about until after he sent it. And
what did it say?
It wasn't the nicest thing to say to somebody.
Okay. I mean, but it sounded like he was pretty triggered from her suggesting that he was something that he was not and like taking, you know, a joke between the two of you. And then, you know, I can get why he got very defensive.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, probably.
And he's very much like somebody who like, yeah.
What exactly did it say? Do you remember?
Oh yeah. He said pretty much like, you need to stay out of our relationship. I don't know why you would even be calling me things like that. If anything bad or whatever was actually going on, I'm sure you would have heard about it by now. And I'm sure she wouldn't be here and still be with me. So, you know, I don't appreciate you saying that when you're not in a relationship at all, let alone have been for the past couple years.
That was my next question.
Serious one.
Yeah, what's her relationship status? Single as fuck?
Oh gosh, single as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how close were you two before you guys started dating? You and the friend.
Oh, yeah, super. I mean, I've been friends with her for about 15 years.
Did you start spending less time with her and more time with him as once? I mean, once you and your boyfriend got together?
No, not really. I still called her every day. I still talked to her all the time. Like her family is my family kind of thing, you know, like she was truly somebody I like,
I mean, I guess where are we now? And I guess what can we help you with? I mean, do you think there's hope for this friendship? Because I mean, right now it sounds bleak.
Yes, it's bad. So actually when I sent my email yesterday, she kept telling me that happened back in January. She kept telling me over these months, like, I just really wish he would reach out and just like acknowledge the fact that he was super disrespectful and his message and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Wait, she wants him to reach out and apologize?
Yeah.
She doesn't think she owes him one at all either?
No. Oh. She does not think she's in the wrong whatsoever.
How is that even possible? Does she well, I mean, it would be possible if she actually thinks he is those things. Does she still think that?
Yeah. Her opinion has not changed.
She thinks he is potentially an abusive boyfriend, fiance?
Yeah, she had
based
called me
on
at
what
one
though?
point.
All from a joke?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, they've only hung out like twice. And, you know, she's definitely somebody being like my close friend that I go to and I confide in when we're arguing or when he annoys me, you know, just like you do with your friends. And I think she's held on to just like all these negative things to the point where.
Well, based on what you're telling me, it's an absurd opinion that she has. It's ridiculous. And so here she is going to you saying, and by the way, like, why is she even going to you asking for him to apologize? If she really thinks he's that bad, she shouldn't be interested in him even like apologizing. You know what I'm saying? She should just continue to be like, get out. So, you know, remind her that, like, again, like, I miss our friendship. I'd love for us to be friends, but you accused my fiance of being things that he's not. And despite me trying to tell you, and you actually not having any whatsoever examples or a shred of evidence that he's these things, you continue to smear his reputation and say terrible things about his character.
Yeah.
And for what? For nothing. So, like, why would he, like, what? I'm confused. You know, you need to lay out to her, like, the picture that you see it or that we see it. You know, again, if he's these things somehow that she magically knows, then she should stand her ground and do whatever she can to get you out of this relationship. But why is she trying to mend this relationship with him if she truly thinks he's that bad? And she has no information and no evidence to suggest, other than like some weird joke that he made with you that she overheard and took out of context, and like a night drunk where he maybe posted something he kind of felt bad that didn't even bother you, that in fact she made worse.
Yeah.
I think you have to. Listen, if you want I think if you really, you got to sit down with her and you got to be, hey, I miss you. Let's get together. I want to talk about the friendship. But when you guys get together one-on-one, face-to-face, not over the phone, you have to lay it out the way you see it and be like, listen, my hands are tied. How would you feel if someone was accusing you of being something that you're not without a shred of evidence?
Yeah.
You know, if someone was, questioning your character, how would you react if someone, said you were, you're single, so you can't be a bad partner, but, I don't say that.
Yeah.
But if she said that you were an abusive friend or, an abusive
To dogs.
To dogs,
Yeah.
because one time you yelled at a dog or you smacked your dog on the head after he got on the counter, like a little pat, like, you spanked your dog, and all of a sudden you're like an abusive, that'd be crazy, And yet she is insisting that he is this person and she wants the apology. So you say, like, listen, like, I want you guys to mend fences, but you can't keep questioning his character. And I'm sure he will apologize for how he handled it. But, like, I don't know if he should apologize for having to defend himself, because he clearly had to defend himself. He could have handled it in a better way, but what would you do in that situation? And I think you got to say it like that. And if she can't, if that can't register with her, then, maybe she's a total liability.
Yeah. Well, so it didn't, because we did do that. We got together at a coffee shop, tried to have this conversation out. She was like, I can be there to support you. I just can't be your maid of honor. Like, I can't stand up there with you and go through this. So fast forward to yesterday when I actually emailed you, he didn't want to apologize because, like you just said, like, he felt like he was just defending himself and was just kind of like, no, but he did, for my sake, message her and say, like, hey, I just want to let things mull over. Like, I just want to move forward. I'm not going to apologize because I don't think I'm wrong, but for my sake, I want to just let this blow. Like, I just want to continue on. We can move forward from here. And I thought, that was as nice as he was going to get. I appreciated the fact that he even took the stance too. And then when I tried to call her yesterday, she blew up on me. Like, how could you let him send me that kind of message? Like, that was total bullshit, essentially. Like, why didn't you read it before he sent that to me? Like, that is
why would it have mattered?
It sounds like she's going through something personally, and she's taking it out on all of the wrong people. And I think you need to step away from this friendship. I don't think to me, it sounds like she's going to be the one to stand up and be like, I object at your wedding. And like, we don't need that.
That's what my dad said.
So I think maybe it's time to just take a step back from the friendship, let her figure out her stuff. And if you just need to say, like, I'm here if you want to talk, but like right now I'm going to focus on my marriage. And, if you need me, I'm here, but like, I need to step away from this friendship.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
I totally agree with Natalie. You're trying too hard to save this friendship, and she's giving you nothing to work with. Absolutely nothing. Every step of the way. And her behavior doesn't make sense. So like Natalie pointed out, the only thing that does make sense is she's just projecting her own unhappiness onto you. And you're spending way too much energy and time in the months leading up to your wedding, trying to get the approval of a friend who's simply just not going to give it to you. And it's ruining the vibe between you and your partner shouldn't be focusing on this. You shouldn't be having to argue about this and I think this is her way of like, she's probably afraid of losing the friendship. And this is her way of handling it in some more toxic way. And the reason she doesn't want to forgive him or let go is because then she's got nothing to work with, And I think there's a desperate, selfish attempt at hoping that you don't go through with it because she doesn't want to share you.
Yeah. And she messaged him back something mean and nasty, called him pathetic, said that her opinion on him was based on things that I've said and things she's seen, and none of it's been positive. But she respects me enough to keep those conversations between her and I.
She is not your friend now.
She's not. And to be clear, when she says these things back, does it sound like insanity, or like, are you conveniently forgetting you complaining about him? We get a lot of people like, oh, I hate my friend's boyfriend and he sucks and she just can't see it. But like, this is just, as far as you're concerned, crazy town.
Yeah.
Then she's not your friend.
He's more on the sensitive side than I am, like in terms of like people, in general.
Yeah.
So
she is not. She's not there to be your friend. She's there to be right. She's not there to support you. She's there to get her way, and she is being very selfish in the months leading up to your wedding. And she doesn't want to be your friend.
Yeah, I think you need to revoke her invitation.
Yeah,
yes, I will cancel that.
It's just like, you didn't want to stand up next to me, and now I don't really feel like you support my marriage at all. So there's really no point in you coming, because I only want people there who love and support and want me and my husband to be together.
Also, you can point out to him that my fiance has never spoken to me or you in the way you just spoke to both of us. So for all of your accusations about what you think he is, I think you need to take a long look in the mirror. And until then, as sad as it makes me feel, I don't think it would be appropriate for us to continue our relationship.
Yeah, I 100% agree, actually. I just wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing. I couldn't have done anything more.
I think you tried.
Because they put me in a unwinnable situation against each other.
Well, it sucks. I'm really sorry you have to deal with it leading up to your wedding, but it's all about you and you two, not her. And this is an adult temper tantrum, and she can't see through her own bullshit. And she is absolutely not putting your feelings first. She's not even reasoning with you. She's not, it's based off of ridiculous stuff. And she's putting words in your mouth, and like, also like, imagine how he feels, right? And like, she's saying this shit to him, and now and he's just probably like, well, what did you say about me? You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
And it's like, now she's planting seeds of doubt. This is very toxic. All she's really doing is like affecting your connection with your partner, and she's getting what she wants. So you really do need to separate yourself. I think Natalie nailed it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And he said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry you're going through it. But congratulations on love.
Yeah. Woo!
Wish you the best at your wedding. A life full of love.
Wedding.
Friends come and go. They do. It's sad, but friends break up all the time. And it's better now the type of friend she's willing to be.
Then, you could have a bunch of photos of her standing next to you at your wedding, and then you'd have to look back
and then,
at these and be
your
like,
then
oh
husband
my God.
would hate every wedding photo because it'd be like, this is the fucking chick who called me this, this, and that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he would.
As he should.
So
I would be like, oh, remember her? She fucking sucks. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Good luck and congratulations on love. And I hope your wedding is amazing and wonderful and beautiful.
Yeah, ditto.
Thank you.
To you guys. The
Thanks
baby's
so much.
a cutie.
We appreciate it. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oof, friends, man. Whew, they can suck.
Yeah.
Anyway, what a great episode. We love Joey and Kelsey. Congratulations to the happy couple.
That was so fun.
Any final thoughts?
I think they might.
I think they might make it.
Till death do them part.
I honestly, I
hope they do.
I'm a believer.
You're a believer.
I'm a believer. And I mean, when was the last couple that we even thought had a chance?
Clayton and Susie?
No. I never thought that.
You thought Clayton and Susie had a chance?
No.
Oh.
Come on.
Who is before?
Zach and Katie are still together.
Who?
Oh yeah, I forgot that he was a bachelor.
I honestly didn't expect them to stay together.
Charity and Dawson are still together too.
Yeah, but they're so new.
Bachelor couples.
But they also it's been like a year for them.
Zach and Katie do seem
Who
happy.
was before that?
Zach and Katie, right?
No, before.
No.
Before Clayton.
Whose season was he on? Because he didn't go very far on his season.
He was on
Matt
Michelle's
James?
season.
Michelle.
Michelle and
Was
her
it?
guy,
Yeah.
Katie.
It was
And
before Michelle.
Michelle and Nate broke up.
anyways, it
They
hasn't
broke
been a
up.
good track
No.
record.
No.
And
Which
Joey
is-
and Kelsey seem.
I'm glad that they're setting them up with a therapist
love
now.
that.
I mean,
Good
I
for
hope
them.
that that's an effort to like
Yeah.
prolong these relationships and help them out.
And it sounds like they were proactive about it.
Yeah.
Joey
Sounds
and
like-
Kelsey.
Yeah. I love the way they look at each other and
Yeah.
I don't know. I like them.
I think it's great. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate you tuning into this episode. We'll be back tomorrow for an episode of Update Special for everyone, not just behind Viall Files Plus. Don't forget, we do have a bunch of updates behind Viall Files Plus. Go to viallfiles.com to sign up. There's like 20 plus episodes, 25, 26 of update specials. And then on Monday, we got another Incredible Ask Nick, Tuesday reality recap, and Daisy. Next week, going deeper. It's going to be a blast. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.